Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome
to the Talking Disney podcast,
where imagination leads the way, memories are waiting to be made, and every moment is just the beginning of a great big story. Join us as we discuss parks, films, history, and magic, one chat at a time. Here are your hosts, Jason, Cody, and James.
And welcome to episode 216 of the Talking Disney podcast. I'm your host, Jason, and I'm here once again with my co-hosts, Cody and James. What is going on, guys?
Not much. What's happening?
Hey there, hi there, ho there.
We are back from D23.
Yes,
The
back.
boys are back. The
Ready
boys
to
are back.
talk about it. All the
Yep, it was fun. All right,
the
thanks
highs,
for joining
lows.
us, everybody.
good stuff, the bad stuff, the crazy stuff.
The bad stuff.
There's always got to be a little bit of bad stuff.
Yeah, the bad part is we all went home on Sunday. That was the bad thing.
Yeah, I guess that is true.
That was bad. But yeah, there's some things that D23 could definitely improve on. But we'll talk about that later.
That's not what the people came for.
No, they came to listen to Cody talk some news. Cody's still in the mood. He's got his hat on.
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
a good looking hat.
Yeah, I do like it. So,
yeah. So before we get into our D23 breakdown and recap, there were a couple of things that were announced right before D23. Jason would have already been on his way down to California. James would have been already in California for a couple of days. August 12th, both Bobs had some news on August 12th. Bob number one, Bob Iger, it was announced on August 12th that he is set to co-own the LA Lakers in a new deal worth $12 billion. That's
is that still happening? Because
with a B.
I didn't read the article,
is
but I
it
saw
not
something
happening?
that one of the sisters was not in favor of selling off her portion of the Lakers. I didn't read the article because I'm not really into basketball, but I just saw something come across my Facebook feed.
I was just reading an update saying that they finally decided to sell their remaining 17.8. So I think it all went through and they got, I think they're like 83% owners now.
Oh, okay. All right. Cool. Yeah, I don't.
So I guess, that's, when James retires, he's going to build Legos. When Bob Iger retires, he buys the LA Lakers.
Yeah. I might have my priorities mixed up.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I don't know about you, James, but I'm sure his bank account looks a lot different than mine.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm not trying to project, but something tells me the bank accounts aren't quite equal.
Yeah. I don't think we could even combine our three and be able to buy steak.
He could wake up tomorrow and our combined three could be missing from his account and he would
Probably
not
don't even know it.
You're like, what happened? What do you mean? What do you mean I missed one? What are you talking about?
He'd be like, one of the kids, maxed out the credit card again.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, he owns. Got to do something.
I guess so. And I guess that's maybe
the recently announced Disney legend and Disney Main Street window haver.
Yes.
So
So I guess we can at least talk about the Disney legend thing a little bit. Maybe when we get to that part of our recap, which none of us were there on Sunday, so none of us saw that panel. I don't know about you guys. I watched it on Disney Plus.
You can talk about it then, because I have not got a chance to watch it.
Okay, so we'll talk about that when we get to the Sunday portion of D23, which nobody was there for. The second...
Well, there are some people there. It just wasn't us.
The three of us, neither one of us. I guess neither. Does neither work with three? I don't think neither works with three.
I don't believe so.
None of us. None of us. Any one of us. Not one of us. I don't know.
Trither? That doesn't sound right. Anyways.
Fairly certain that is not it. Welcome to your English lesson on the Talking Disney podcast.
Yeah. Any hoozle. Also on August 12th, the other Bob, the Bob that many people don't like, and we probably won't see this Bob become a Disney legend, Bob Chapek.
Bob
or
Paycheck?
as many lovingly refer to him as Bob Paycheck.
Sorry, I didn't mean to ruin your
No.
punchline there.
Yeah, it's okay. I'll cry about it later. Bob Paycheck apparently is looking for a new paycheck and has decided to release a basically tell-all memoir about his time as CEO.
I might have to read that.
Well, yeah. So it's going to be called Behind Castle Walls or Behind the Castle Walls, something like that. Disney loves their colons, my 30 years at the happiest place on earth.
You should have yours inspected once in a while.
Yeah.
I think I don't have to do that until I'm above 30, 40 years old.
They say 40 something now, but that made me think of the story that we heard at the panel about the colon, and it changes a person. we can share that later, I guess.
King Candy.
Yeah. So that book, Behind Castle Walls, My 30 Years at the Happiest Place on Earth. So it sounds like it's going to span his entire career at Disney, but I bet you a large portion of it will be about his time as CEO and potentially the handoff from Iger to him, and then his tenure and fallout.
And then that chapter's going to be titled, I Became CEO, but Iger would not leave the building. So
yeah, I'm very curious. I wonder if he was waiting until Bob wasn't CEO to release this, or if it's just the timing, or if his NDA has expired.
He could have been. He possibly started writing it the day after Bob Iger came back. He was like, I'm writing a book.
Yeah.
So,
I want to read this book. It's releasing on September 29th, 2026. So that's my mom's birthday.
That could be an episode. We can all buy the book. We can read it.
We could do the Talking Disney Podcast Book Club,
and then we'll review it.
All right. James rolled his eyes at that one.
James is waiting for the audio version on Spotify.
That's right. Audible.
I mean, that would be cool because Bob Iger narrated his book.
Jay,
or at least the forward and like the epilogue.
I was thinking Samuel Jackson should narrate it. We can get a couple F-bombs in there.
There you go.
So,
anyways,
Morgan Freeman. It might sound like it's coming from God.
David Attenborough.
Jim Cummings as Winnie the Pooh.
Oh, speaking of Jim Cummings, did you guys see his or his social media post?
I did. Yes, I took a screenshot of it. I was going to talk about that. Seems he's a little salty.
Yeah, it seems like he's upset that he's been stiffed as Disney legend.
Which I was going to bring this up later during the Disney legend portion when we talk about it, but he is not incorrect.
That he's been around for 40 years and
he's not a Disney legend. I would have because we
talked about this a little bit when the list of legends for this year came out.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait for my thoughts until we get to that part. But
okay,
yeah.
Well, I'll say second to last piece of news. In less happy news, on August 16th,
on my drive home,
it was announced that Hayden Panettiere sadly passed away at the age of 36 years old. If you've been on social media or the news within the last few days, I'm sure you've seen that she has passed away. And it seems to be getting a lot of traction online. There seems to, I think officially there says that there was no foul play or anything, but I think there's a lot of people suspicious that something had happened, that it's not per se natural causes, that she didn't. Now, I had seen a report that, the paramedics were called to where she was due to a person in like cardiac arrest, or they discovered somebody in cardiac arrest when they arrived, something to that effect. I don't know if she had already passed by the time the paramedics got there, or if she passed after the fact, but I guess if 2-3 months ago, Hayden was on a podcast and she talked about some troubling experiences from her past about like a woman. I think she was like an agent or something like that. Not necessarily Hayden's agent, but somebody that had some connections, this woman within the Hollywood realm, and more or less put her in bed with some man, unnamed man. He was, I think,
when she was younger, right?
When she was younger. I couldn't tell you exactly how old she was. I don't know if she said how old, but
I know she's been acting,
younger.
I think, in some capacity since she was like 4 or 5.
Yeah, I think she was like 9 when she was in Remember the Titans.
Yeah, I think so.
Anyway, she was put in bed with an older man. I believe she was underage at the time. And this particular gentleman, I guess, had connections or status and wealth. And she felt pressured more or less to do whatever transpired. Or if she didn't do anything, then, you know, there's that part of it as well. So, anyways, it's only been 2 or 3 months since I guess she released those details publicly. And now some people are speculating that maybe she was shut up for lack of a better phrasing. Or she was scared enough because she had been receiving threats since she released that information that she had possibly taken her own life. So it doesn't seem like the coroner report or anything like that is lining up with any of those theories. But then I had seen something yesterday or today that either the FBI or the DEA or something like that was getting involved in this, I guess, case now. So I don't really know what's going on, but
11 hours ago, it says DEA joins investigation into Hayden Panettiere's death. So
I don't know. Maybe she overdosed on drugs, whether intentionally or accidentally. We don't know at this point. So, Hayden Panettiere, like I mentioned a minute ago, she was in Remember the Titans as a little girl. She was also, as a little girl, the voice of Dot from A Bug's Life, Pixar's second feature film, which we reviewed on this podcast. And she's been in a multitude of other things. She was a great actress. And unfortunately, she was only 36 years old. So sad to see her go. She was in Disney's Ice Princess. I don't know if either of you saw Ice Princess.
Yeah,
I did not.
Great movie. It's on Disney Plus. You should really watch it. She's co-starred in that with Michelle Trachtenberg. Michelle Trachtenberg also passed away earlier this year, tragically. So,
yeah.
And she wasn't, I assume without looking at it, Michelle Trachtenberg was probably around the same age, if not maybe 30, a little younger.
39?
Oh, was she a
maybe?
little older? Okay.
Let me see. She was 39 when she died. Yeah.
Yeah. And then a couple episodes ago, we talked about the voice of Lilo from the animated Lilo and Stitch. She passed away not too long ago either. So
yeah,
it's unfortunate that all these people are leaving us.
Yeah, some of her roles, she was Dot in Bug's Life. She was I'm just going down those. I'll talk about the ones I recognize. She was Suri and Dinosaur. She was Cheryl Yost in Remember the Titans. Audrey Davis in Raising Helen.
That's a good movie.
Ice Princess, she was Jennifer Harwood. Bring It On, All or Nothing, she played a role in that one. I Love You, Beth Cooper. She was Beth Cooper.
Yes.
These aren't all necessarily Disney. So
yeah, I Love You, Beth Cooper is not a Disney movie.
She was in Scream 4. She was in some of the TV shows. She was in Heroes. That's probably one of her more famous.
That in Nashville.
She was Claire Bennett, 73 episodes in Heroes. And then Nashville, 112 episodes. She was Juliet Barnes. I've never seen any of the Nashville. So
I've never seen either of those two shows, but
yeah. So there you go. I think Tiger Cruise, I think that's Disney, isn't it? Yeah, a Disney Channel original movie. She was Tiger Cruise, or in Tiger Cruise with Bill Pullman from 2004. So yeah, okay. That's all the ones I recognize. Then she was some voices in video games.
Yeah, she voiced a character in Kingdom Hearts.
Which,
had some big news over the weekend, which I'm sure we'll talk about. But the Kingdom Hearts, official social media channels did do like a little tribute to her as well, since she did voice a character in at least one of the games. I couldn't tell you if it was one or more, but
she was in, Kingdom of Hearts, Kingdom Hearts 2, Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, Kingdom Hearts 3D, Kingdom Hearts HD. Yeah.
So she was definitely a member of that team for sure.
Yeah. So, all right.
So So anyways,
yeah, I think I texted you guys that when I was driving home because it popped across my screen when I was driving through Utah. So,
yep.
Anyways, D23.
D23.
Do we want to start with D23 at the Angels, D23 day at Disneyland, and then D23 Expo?
Sure.
Yeah.
So D23. So I can go and start, right?
Yeah.
Yes. You were the one that was there.
I do have a question for you during the D23 because I know I'm not going to talk really a lot about it's not going to be a trip report for my Disneyland trip. I don't think James said he was going to wait to. But there are like one or two things I want to ask you questions about and that we can talk about.
We have one more bit of news.
Okay. Is it breaking news or is it just something you forgot to talk about?
It's just I didn't have it on the notes because I didn't want to spoil the surprise, but I wouldn't say it's breaking news. It's happened at least probably 60, 70, 80 times,
Cody kissed a girl.
Yeah.
Well, now you got them all.
I was going to play that too.
Happy birthday, a great big to-do. Let's celebrate, yeah, celebrate you. So make a wish on your special day. You're looking great, so great, come celebrate. Happy.
All right, well, that was for James. James has a birthday coming up in a couple of days, so...
James.
60 or 70 times? Like I'm sitting here all confused. I'm like, wait a second. 60 or 70 times. And then the
59
birthday,
times.
and I'm like, well, wait a second. Oh, my goodness. Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Yes.
Today, we're
In a couple
recording
days.
actually on August 20th. And
Yes.
It's on the 22nd, correct?
That is correct on Saturday.
Okay. Marcia got worried today because my sister's birthday is on the 21st, and sometimes she'll think, and even I'll think it too. I was like, your birthday's the day before, but it's actually the day after. So she was like, oh crap, I forgot to tell James happy birthday. I was like, well, you got 2 days. So
Absolutely.
There's
And
a
a
lot
very
of August
happy
birthdays in your family.
Yes, I was just going to say a very happy birthday to my daughter Brianna, who I got to
Yes.
spend a few days with in Disneyland.
Our number
And
one
that-
fan.
Yes, and that trip we will recap probably on our next episode because this episode is going to be mainly of D23 stuff. But yeah, we were down there with Brianna and Riley. We got to actually be in Disneyland for her birthday, which was on the 11th. So Brianna, happy birthday. I love the fact that we got to
birthday.
spend some time with you. But then, yes, they ended up flying out of John Wayne Airport on her birthday, which was the 11th, which was Tuesday. And we were wanting to be down, or at least I was wanting to be down. My wife, not so much, for D23 day on Thursday. And instead of just driving home Tuesday afternoon, going to work, and then coming back either Wednesday night or super early Thursday morning, we just decided to stay an extra day.
because if you'd have went back to work Tuesday and Wednesday, you wouldn't have made it for the game on Wednesday.
No,
you would have got held up with something at work.
Oh,
and-
yeah. I wouldn't have tried going to the game
Yeah.
if we had come back. And that's one of the reasons that we ended up going to the game. D23 2 years ago has started trying to expand kind of what they're doing during the week so that it's not just so much about the expo. I think they did these two things last 2 years ago also, where they have a D23 day on Thursday, which we will talk about in a second. But on Wednesday, and I think last year it might have been the Tuesday or even the Monday before, but the Angels are playing down the street, and they designated it as D23 night at the stadium. They were giving away Mickey bobbleheads. They were advertising that they were giving, and there's the Cody bobblehead. They were advertising that they were going to be passing out 23,000 of them, and that 10% of them, 2,300, would be not solid gold, but would be gold colored. The other remaining ones would be painted, of course. And I should have brought one in here so I could have showed it on camera, but I'll show it another time.
I'm surprised it's not on your shelf back there.
Yes, I need it to be, as well as the
Looks like you need some more
popcorn. bucket. Yes, I do need some more shelving. As a matter of fact, I need a shelf for my train to go on, but now I'm getting ahead of myself. Not that I have a full train, but I do have a souvenir from D23 from the Lionel booth. But anyways, back to the game. So we were at the same hotel that we stayed at with Brianna and Riley. We were going to switch hotels on Thursday to the Portofino, which is where all of us were staying for D23. So for that Wednesday, we just kind of slept in, relaxed, had a relaxing day because we'd spent a couple days at the park. It was super hot those days. If you follow us on TikTok, there's a picture of the Mickey all painted up. So we've got two of those. Teresa and I got those. Nice. So anyways, we knew they were going to be passing those out. I had no idea how popular the games are. I mean, I know, going to hockey games here in Vegas, the Vegas Golden Knights are pretty well known for, they sell out the arena. And there's usually, I think the arena T-Mobile holds about 18,000 people, maybe a hair more than that. But they're typically no empty seats at T-Mobile when the Knights are playing. And of course that's hockey. I have no idea what it is for baseball. So I start looking at it and thinking, okay, the game starts at 7. I haven't been to a Major League Baseball game in a long time. So I'm trying to figure out what time do I need to get there. The gates open at 5 o'clock to let you in. And they're supposed to be having different D23 things going on. And I'll get to that in a second. But I wanted to make sure and get one of these bobbleheads because if I'm down there, I want to get one. And I was hoping for one of the gold ones. But we were trying to figure out what time to get there. And so I was looking up what's the capacity of that stadium. And it looks like the capacity is like 43,000. I'm like, okay, well, that's more than I thought it was. If everybody shows up, they're obviously not going to have enough bobbleheads for everybody. So I'm thinking we need to get there early. So we go over, it's only 5 minutes away from where we were staying because it's only 5 minutes away from Disneyland. And holy cow, you should have seen the lines. I think I might have taken a picture and sent it to you guys. I'm not sure. We got there like right at 5 and we parked and there were so many people to get into that.
You got there at 5?
Yes.
Game time was probably what, 7:10?
7:10, I believe so.
Yeah.
So they were getting ready so they still hadn't opened the gates to go in when we arrived. We walked up and basically, I think they have 4 gates to get in there. 3 or 4. I think it's 4.
It's been 20 plus years since I've been to Angel Stadium. So
yeah. And it's, so I'm looking at all these people and thinking, I have no idea what 23,000 people looks like, but it could be what's sitting here because there were so many freaking people. You couldn't even tell where the ends of the line were. I mean, people were walking around and like, where's the end of the line? And they're like back there. But then like, you just couldn't find it. You try to find it was nuts. It was chaotic. Finally ended up getting into a line. And then when we're in that line, that's super long, we ended up cutting into another line, which pissed a lot of people off. And it's not like just Teresa and I, like a whole group of people thought they were in another line. And as it started merging, everyone was like, no, go back. And I mean, it was just nuts. And the crazy thing was, as we're getting in there, we look over because gate 1 is like right in front and gate 3 is to the right. You can see it. I mean, it's like a stone's throw away. Like the line for gate 3 ended up emptying out. There was no one in line. There's still a bunch of us at line 1. And it's like, I don't know enough about the stadium. Like I'm looking at it, it says gate 3. I'm like, so can we just go over there? So anyways, we didn't end up going over gate 3. We found out later we could have, but we ended up making it through and getting our bobblehead. And I was a little disappointed as we were walking through because the way that they presented it was there's going to be 23,000 bobbleheads and 2,300 of them will be randomly distributed that are the gold ones. But as we're going through, Teresa like points out the box, like they have boxes and boxes, just the brown shipping boxes that these things come in. And she says, well, you can tell right on there which ones are the gold ones. And I sent you guys a quick video, like you videoed it. And on the side, it says Mickey bobblehead colored edition. And then and there'd be like one box in this group of 10 that said Mickey bobblehead gold edition. And it's like, oh, well, that's not really, I mean, it's random, I guess. But as soon as they start passing out the gold, everyone in that box is getting a gold one. So
yeah,
that kind of ruined the suspense.
It should
if
be
you
like
will.
one gold one in each box.
Yeah, exactly. Just randomly in there, so you don't know where it's at.
Yeah. Exactly.
So as we're going through, of course, we can see the box they're pulling from. We can see that it's the color ones. So it's
no,
like,
I want one out of that box.
It's
Then
like,
you
wait a
just sat
second.
aside for a minute.
Yeah, let me just wait until you get to that 8th box on the bottom over there. So anyways, we got that. Obviously, we were there early. I think we were in by 5:30. And D23 had some different things going on. They had a place that you'd go to in one of the little promenade things by one of the gates, where if you signed up for their text message, the D23 group text message, which I had already signed up for, I think we all probably received that text because of the fact that we were signed up for D23, which I thought is kind of funny now after the event, because I never once received a single group text. So I don't even know why. Did you guys receive any text? Did you guys sign up for that?
I guess not. I've never once received a text.
I received a text. I got notifications from the D23 app about the buses and stuff. But
there was something, I think there was an email or something, and it came through and it said, click here to join the D23 group text messaging thread.
I do remember seeing that email.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, what is the point of this?
Yeah.
It's like, is it just going to be the same information I get in the email? Because if that's the case, I don't need them to text me.
Yeah, I wasn't sure either. I signed up for it. So when we got to the game, they were having people sign up for that, and you'd get a free limited edition Mickey Mouse baseball card. That basically shows Mickey on the card, patterned after the bobblehead. He's in the same outfit as the bobblehead. So I was already signed up, so I was able to show them that. But I never received a single text message the entire time, so I don't know what the point of doing that was. And then they put us to another spot where. So of course we only got one of those cards because I was the only one signed up. Teresa didn't sign up for that. But then there was another place you could go and check in, and they gave us a couple Disney pins, which are basically patterned after the Mickey bobblehead as well. And then they had a Lorcana section, where they were passing out cards, and they basically gave everybody a card. And there was pictures of 6 cards on there. I think it was 6 cards. And then they gave everyone 4 packs of the Lorcana cards. And
4 packs? Wow.
4 packs. And the goal was you needed to go through the 4 packs and see if you had the 6 cards. And if not, they were encouraging everybody to trade with each other. And if you got all 6 cards on your card, you could go up there and trade it in for a special one night only D23 promotional card for Lorcana. So we opened up our cards between the two of us, 8 packs, and we only had one on 2 of our cards. Mm-hmm. So we gave up on that real quickly because it's like, well, I'm not going to sit here and try to trade, looking through all these cards. This is stupid. So it wasn't stupid. I mean, I know people really like that stuff, but just wasn't our thing. And while we were there opening the bags, it was kind of funny because they had a DJ there and they started doing this trivia. And I was telling Jason about this a little bit. I think it was really funny because they were, I was thinking, okay, well, I'll stick around for the trivia. And basically it was, they were asking questions, and they would ask a question and they said that it was sports related, and whoever raised your hand first got the chance to come up and answer the question. And if you got it right, they give you a prize. They had some mystery bags or something that you could grab from. I have no idea what was in them. And so they would ask different questions like, what's Lightning McQueen's number? Was one of the questions. And it was funny. We lost interest pretty quick because
what's his number, James? What's his number?
95.
All right.
95. Another one was one of the Wildcats from High School Musical. What was their jersey number? Which I had no idea. But then one of the
Cody
questions.
Knows.
Yeah. Well, I don't even know which player it was.
Yeah, which player?
So then the question
Troy
comes
Bolton
up.
was 14.
That might be it. That sounds familiar.
But
then the question comes up, and there's the DJ, but then there's this lady helping him, and she reads the question, and she's like, "What was Herbie the Love Bug's number on his car?" And someone raised their hand, and they went up there and they spoke to the microphone. They said 53, and she says, "Nope, sorry, that's not it." And so everyone was kind of like, I'm like, "What are you talking about? That's not it." So everyone kind of paused for a second, And then, I think Jason just pulled it up there. There's Herbie with a 53 on there. I've got my Herbie shirt that's got a big 53 on there. So I know that's the answer.
But that looks like a 5 and a 3 to me.
Yeah.
So James told me the story because we saw a model of Herbie, and he's like, "Oh, speaking of that,
yeah." So she says no, and the guy's kind of like, okay, and then he walks away. So then people just start raising their hand. They're like, 71, and she's like, nope, that's not it. And people are like, 51, nope, that's not it. 33, no, like people are just throwing out numbers. And then some other lady says, 53 again, like she wasn't paying attention. And the lady's like, nope, it's not 53. Meanwhile, the first guy, like he's looking it up on his phone.
He's like, I know it's 53.
And they're telling everybody, if you pick up your phone, you're disqualified. But he's wanting to prove himself. So he goes up there and he shows the picture to the lady and says, look, it's 53. And she goes,
you're disqualified.
And she goes, oh, she said, I'm not sure what happened or where the discrepancy is, but I guess it is 53. So you win. And then the lady that wasn't paying attention that also said 53 later, she starts making a ruckus going, what do you mean he wins? I'm the one that said 53. I'm the one that said 50. And I was like, all right, we're out of here. We're still an hour and a half from the game start and people are already drunk. So let's get out of here.
It's like that lady me and Cody saw who got kicked out of the line at the Walt Disney Company store. Remember her? I was here.
Oh.
So
I thought you were talking about the guy in the basement, the first one.
Oh yeah, that was another guy. Yeah.
So
I didn't do that this last time.
So
He's never done this.
Yeah.
This dude was angry.
Oh man, poor guy. Like, guess what? It's different every time. We've been 3 times. Each time it's been different.
Every time. Yep.
So after that, we went, we got some snacks and stuff, got some nachos, got some drinks, got some Kathy's cookies that were there as well.
Oh, nice.
But at the stadium, they sell not just a sleeve of cookies or a bucket of cookies, but they sell 5 cookies to go along with a scoop of vanilla ice cream. I don't know why they're not doing that at Downtown Disney.
Now, do they have like a permanent stall at the game, or is this just something they had going on for D23 night?
I'm not sure. It's not a permanent stall by any means. It's 2 food trucks that they had there, but it seemed like they were probably a regular vendor there at the game. I don't know for sure. But they didn't have any special D23 labeling or anything. So it's just Kathy's Cookies, 2 food trucks, one on each side of the stadium. So we got some of those, not the ice cream though, because we were still kind of full from earlier.
They should do that in Downtown Disney.
I'm telling you,
ice cream. Yeah,
exactly.
Says Kathy's Cookies is a regular fixture at Angel Stadium during home games, usually stationed via mobile truck setups or specific concourse spots frequently noted around the right field sections of 107 and 130.
Yeah.
So
there you go.
So the game starts. And it's funny. We sit down and, when you buy your D23, when you buy your tickets through D23, you're in a specific section. So we know everybody in the section is D23. Some people sat in front of us, and some of the ushers, they start asking questions like, hey, we're supposed to go. And she starts showing the different things on the app. Like they're supposed to have a pin. They're supposed to be, and he's looking at it. He's like, yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about. It's kind of funny. It's like, oh, the ushers have no idea. So
yeah,
we clued them in on where they needed to go and told them to hurry because all that stuff was being passed out until the end of the second inning. But anyways, we watched the game a little bit. It was cool. I think Mickey Mouse, I'm trying to remember if he threw out the first pitch or if it was someone else that he just came out with them. I can't remember for sure because I was, trying to record different things and obviously not the main thing that was on the field apparently. But just kind of sitting there.
Here's
relaxing.
my 5th hot dog.
Yeah, it's funny that you say that because Riley was telling me about this 9 and 9 challenge or something that you got to go to the game and eat 9 hot dogs for each inning, one for each inning. And I was like, oh, I'm going to do that.
I'd be sick.
Did you eat 9 hot dogs? One an inning?
No, I did have 2, but I did not get to 9. 2 was plenty. As well as the nachos and the Kathy's cookies and half of Teresa's pizza And
so he ate equivalent of 9 hot dogs. But
yeah,
it was
pretty
just
much.
different stuff.
The caloric intake was probably equivalent or even slightly higher the way that I went. But yeah, Mickey Mouse was out there. I think he either threw out the first pitch or he went out with the guy who threw out the first pitch. A lot of up on the Jumbotron, a lot of D23 stuff, some different trivia up there. I didn't notice any of it being wrong, but yeah, and that was pretty much it for the game. The game was good, just typical baseball game. The Texans,
did you stay for the whole game?
No, I did not. The Texans went up early. I think they got one guy in, and then someone hit a home run like in the 3rd inning or something. And I really thought that the way it was going that they were going to win. So we ended up leaving, I want to say around the 5th or 6th inning. We didn't stay for the whole thing. I was excited to be there, but I was excited to be there for the D23 stuff. And I love watching baseball games, but I also don't want to be there till 10 o'clock knowing that in the morning we were wanting to get a D23 day at Disneyland. We wanted to be there for rope drop. We also had to pack up all of our stuff and load it into the car because we were checking out of the one hotel and checking into the other hotel later. So it's like we did not want to stay there till 9-10 o'clock. But the Angels did come back. They ended up winning, I think, 5-2 that night.
5-2, yeah.
So that was
Mike Trout had 3 hits and 2 RBIs.
Yeah. So and it was fun. I like going to baseball games. I just don't do it very often.
So just to tell you about the first pitch, it was thrown out by Disney D23 president Michael Vargo, accompanied by Mickey Mouse.
There we go. And see, I remember when they were saying it, I remember him saying a name. That's why I was thinking it wasn't Mickey that actually threw it. So that makes sense. D23 president. So the game was good. Hoping to go to a lot more baseball games when the A's come here in a couple of years, but we'll see. Tickets are probably going to be outrageous. Well,
the Aviators got a pretty nice stadium.
Yeah, they do. I haven't been out there. I need to go out there. I went when whoever was playing, was it the 51s?
Yeah, it was the 51s.
I can't even think of the name of that place now.
Wasn't it Cashman Field?
Yeah, Cashman Field.
Yeah.
So
we would go there during the summer when I would come out.
Yep. Yeah. I remember being there, me, you, Barry, Chris, and maybe a couple other guys.
The kids and his son. It was like 107 degrees.
Yeah. Good times.
I remember when I was working for James, I went out there probably several times, probably close to 10 times or so with Jared from the lab. He and I would go out.
I thought it was Jared from Subway. He's in prison now, I think.
not Jared from Subway.
Oh, that's funny. So yeah, that was the game. Like I said, left early, so getting out was a piece of cake.
I know.
It was a good time. It was fun.
I know. I was coming into town that night, and my tradition is to always get off the 57 on Catella. As soon as I get off the freeway, I roll down the window, get some smells of Anaheim while I'm heading to my hotel. Well,
nothing like the smell of smog.
No, actually, it's just got a different smell. It's not smog at all. But that day, I forgot the baseball game. So it took me a little while to get off the freeway. I should have got off at Ball and just went that way. But so it took me a while.
I think it's less of getting the smell of Anaheim into the car and more of getting the smell of the Coley men out of the car.
No, we smell good.
I feel like when we were kids, we would always get off on Ball. Because I feel like I have memories as a kid getting towards the resort, and like the first thing you see, like we were north of the Matterhorn approaching the resort.
Yeah. I always just get off on whichever one's closest to my hotel.
Yeah. Well, we're usually either south of Catella or we're at the Anaheim Hotel, and it's getting off at Catella. You're right there. So
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that was a game. It was a good time. It was fun. We had a good time. And I was worried going in. I was thinking, man, I'm not going to get this bobblehead. Oh, that was the other thing. Like I'm watching the game and like I'm looking around. It's like this stadium, there's no way it's even half full.
No.
And we did see them wheeling away. There were a lot of extra bobbleheads. So I don't think there was even 23,000 people at the game.
Yeah, I didn't look at the game attendance. I know their average attendance this year, the Angels, I think is 32,000.
Yeah.
So it doesn't even sound like they had their average
That.
attendance because
And maybe they did, and just they didn't pass them all out or something. It just I saw them pushing boxes around. Yeah, when I look at the attendance, it says there was 33,733 there that night. So there was
Okay.
enough to pass them all out. So I have no idea.
maybe some people didn't want it. They're like,
Yeah.
we're not here. We're just here to watch the Angels play. So
And then the jumbotron, you know, they go around and show different people from the fans and the seats and stuff. And a couple of people would show their gold Mickey bobblehead, and of course the entire crowd would ooh and ah, and be thinking, "Oh, what section are they in?"
yeah, I know on eBay they're going for about 200.
Are they?
So yeah,
Yeah.
I bet you eBay loves D23, or anytime there's a con anywhere. I bet you eBay loves it because they get bombarded with listings.
eBay just loves Disney stuff, popcorn buckets.
Oh, jeez.
So
Yeah.
so Thursday was D23 day. That's the reason I was going down there. We thought about trying to get there before the game, but there was no way. And obviously we probably could have got tickets still, but
Yeah, you could have
we
got
didn't
tickets,
get
and I
there.
think you still would have got a bobblehead. You guys
A
were
bobblehead, probably,
passing
yeah.
by. I think I think you were driving by, and we still were not in the stadium quite yet.
yeah.
Or
so
just
we could have,
went in or
but
something.
yeah, Calvin and I came in Wednesday night for the purpose of going to D23 day. A couple weeks ago, I think I might have announced it that I had just bought tickets at the end of an episode. Kind of put it off. But then I was like, yeah, let's just do it. So we got some fairly inexpensive military.
That's our podcast motto. Screw it. Let's do it.
Screw it. Let's do it. Yeah.
Let's do it.
We got some military tickets for the day. With the point of going in, just seeing some of the D23 stuff being there. Yeah, so Calvin didn't get to go to Disneyland with us in June when we took Kaylee and everybody for her graduation. So I thought it'd be cool to get Calvin there for a day at least.
Yep.
And let him ride some rides. And it was D23 day too. So there were some things I wanted to look at, some things I wanted to buy. Unfortunately, they were sold out.
There's the title of the episode.
Yeah, sold out. I wanted the pin, which I ended up getting on eBay. Probably paid about twice as much. And then I wanted the medallions from the Candy Palace. And we looked at the line a couple times. I know James looked at the line a couple times. It was
You can go to our TikTok and see the line.
see the line.
It's well documented.
And I almost got in it after breakfast. I don't know where you guys went, but we were walking by and it wasn't as long. It was to the entrance of Refreshment Corner. At least it didn't go around the corner.
Right.
I almost got in it, but the lady was there. She was like, he's refilling it right now, but we don't know how many he's putting in, and it's our last box. So you could get in line, but at this, like she was standing here and there was maybe
get any.
Yeah, there was probably 5 people on one side of her where I would have lined up. She said, anybody past me, it's not guaranteed you'll get one or you'll get any. So I was like, all right, I'll just pass it up. And we went on. We did rope drop. I think James had mentioned earlier about them wanting to leave the game a little early so they can get back, get some rest. They had to change hotels and trying to get into Disneyland as early as possible so we could get the D23 Mickey ears.
Yep.
Which we were successful.
So should we share our exploits getting into Disneyland?
Yeah.
Our because we both went in different ways. I think yours was pretty straightforward.
Yeah, we went in. We were down at we were actually all staying at the Portofino, which is just south of Catella. What, like 2 hotels in on off the harbor?
It's like the second one because the one on the corner above the CVS and then Portofino is right behind that.
Right.
And we were checking out of one of the Marriotts up there by the Outback across the street from Target and stuff. So we weren't at the Portofino yet. We had to check out, and obviously we couldn't check in until the afternoon. So all of our stuff was sitting in the car. So we had to go to the parking garage, whereas you were checked into the Portofino and walking over.
Right. And we had walked it the night before. Calvin and I went to downtown Disney just to see how long it would take. It was from the hotel to downtown, or hotel to security, getting both stoplights at Catella and at what's the road that the Anaheim Hotel's on? Is that
Disney Way?
Disney Way.
Disney. Getting stopped at both of those lights, it took us 11 minutes to get to security. So that way we could gauge on when we needed to leave in the morning on Thursday. We left a little bit later than we wanted to, I think. And we got stopped. This is probably the longest line I've been in trying to get to security. But if you know that area, you know, you got to security, you got the Disneyland sign. Then you go south and you got the Uber and taxi drop off right there. And then it kind of goes down next to where the buses come in. And then you can split off and you can walk next to Harbor, or you can walk along the fence of Disneyland where the buses are. We were almost back at the light of Harbor and Disney Way, just waiting there. So I crossed the street, and we normally go to the left and walk next to the fence area. But Calvin and I were like, well, let's just stay straight because everybody's going that way, not looking over there. And a lady was like, oh, well, I think we're supposed to go the other way. I was like, no, they kind of merge up over by the taxi thing. And I looked over and, oh no, she was right. There was a line. So if we had gone to the taxi area, we'd have had to walk all the way back to the line. So it was a really long line.
And what time was that? What time was this?
What time did I send you guys that picture?
I don't know. It was close to 6:30 in the morning, maybe.
I thought it was later than that.
I think it was closer to 7, wasn't it?
Oh, maybe it is close. Yeah, I think they opened.
They normally open
6:40 ish.
Yeah. I learned it from learning last time. They'll open security at 7.
As well as the parking garage is 7, right?
Yeah, and I think they opened the fence right there where the Disneyland sign is. I think that's 6:30. Because I got over there at 6:45 in June, and there was a line out to the sign waiting for security to open. So security does open at 7. I'm pretty sure they opened on time. I'm going through my thing right now, but yeah, we were pretty far back. I sent you guys a message or a picture of it, I think. But it didn't take us that long. Once security opened, when we were there in June, when security opened, they didn't open every security line. They kind of opened a few, and then they expanded. By the time we got there, every security line was open. So they were getting people through fairly quickly. Made it over. We normally will hit one of the first entry lines when we go in through security, but those are backed up a long way. So we walked closer. We walked like we were going to downtown Disney and then jumped in one of those lines. I think we're in number 18. And we weren't far back. And that's where I texted James to let him know that we were in line. And just in case he was able to get up and meet us.
And you sent that picture of being in the line before security at 6:57.
Okay, 6:57. So security was still 3 minutes away from opening. And I knew it would be backed up a little, but I didn't realize it would be that far. But it is D23 day.
So from where you were, you sent that picture at 6:57. You sent another picture at 7:10 saying we are in line. So it took 13 minutes, and you went all that distance through security. And then you were in the Esplanade in line.
And granted, Calvin and I we get through security quicker than if we're with the whole family because we don't have backpack. We didn't bring a backpack that day. It was just we had our wallet and our phone, and that was it. So, we were in pretty quickly. So
Disneyland at security, they need a no bag line.
We were talking about that. Yeah.
Please.
They have it at Disney World.
Yep.
I don't understand why we can't have it. And
they also have
still walk through the metal detector.
They also have the cool metal detectors at Disney World where everybody's just walking through.
Well, it's not really a metal detector, is it? It's like a body scanner.
I don't know what it is. Whatever it is some kind of scanner.
I don't know what it is.
I'm sure
not even.
I'm
not
sure,
even a metal detector, man.
I'm sure it would.
It's not even Pixar, man.
I'm sure it probably detects metal. Therefore, it is a metal detector.
I can tell you, it detects all kinds of stuff.
I have been through. I have been through ones where I go to start taking things out of my pocket, like my phone, my wallet, and they're like, "No, just leave it in. Walk on through."
Yep.
So they must sense something, but it didn't take long to get up there. I think James had a little rougher time than I did.
Yes. So I got into line. We weren't sure. We were trying to get over there as early as possible because parking, we know because I really wanted these ears. I mean, to go back 2 years ago, I wanted these stupid ears. And I don't even know why I want these ears because, I don't know. I should have worn them tonight. That would have been a good hat to wear while I'm doing these, while we're doing this. But anyways, I really wanted them 2 years ago. I think I missed it by about 30 minutes or so, 30 to 45 minutes. I don't remember. But I was really bummed that I didn't get them because then I had to watch people all day wearing them. So we got to the parking garage. I know that the parking garage opens at 7. But then after you park at the parking garage, you have to take the escalator down. You have to get into line for security there. Mm-hmm. And then you have to get in line to take a tram. The tram takes 5 minutes to get you over to where then you then walk into the Esplanade to get into line to go into Disneyland. So we knew, I was hoping like it's D23 day. They're going to have a lot of people. Maybe they'll let us in early. So I didn't know. So we were there, I want to say about 6:30, 6:35. And if you follow us on TikTok, you might have seen I did a quick TikTok of us in line at 6:38. We showed up and we were immediately like all the lines seemed to be open going into the parking garage, but we weren't even in the parking garage at that point. We were still several cars away from entering where it's covered, which is still quite a ways back from the gates to get in.
Yeah.
And so immediately I'm starting thinking, gloom and doom, like, I'm not getting the ears. This is stupid. But anyways, we start going, we get up there and it was crazy because we get up to the spot and I go to show my magic key so they can scan it. And they have, because with the magic key, with the particular tier that we have, parking is included. They also offer preferred parking for an additional $20. I think parking at Mickey and Friends, I think is either 40 or 45, and then preferred is either 60 or 65, depending on what the regular is. So you can pay the difference and get preferred parking. And I'm thinking, well, with all these people, I'm paying for the preferred parking, which ended up being a good thing eventually because we got really close to where the escalators are. But it was really funny because the lady scans my ticket and she says, okay, and we tell her, hey, we want to do the preferred parking. So she scans it. She said, okay, it's going to be another $40. And I'm thinking to myself, $40? Like, I've done this several times before. I know it's 20, but then I'm thinking, well, maybe I didn't hear her right, or maybe she saw something on her screen that made her say 40. I don't know what she's saying. And so she goes and she looks at the screen and she's like, oh, that's weird. And she's like, I'm sorry, I'm going to need to scan your ticket again. So I'm like, okay. So we're going to scan it. And she looks at it and she's like, no, sorry. She said, someone already used your pass for parking today. And I'm like, and the way she said it was just kind of funny to me because number one, you can't use someone else's pass for parking. I mean, it's obviously me. When you scan that, my picture pops up on the screen. I've seen it before. So I'm looking at it and she's just making it sound like very matter of fact, like, yeah, somebody has used your ticket for parking today. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Someone's using it. Like, security's not even officially open yet. It's not even 7 a.m. Like, who could have used it? Like, anyways, it was, and then now we got all these people behind us. The line's not moving.
Everyone's honking behind James.
It was a nightmare. And I'm like, oh my goodness, like me and my preferred parking. And finally she asked the other guy behind her, because in those little structures, there's usually a couple of them. And he's like, yeah, no, I don't know. It looks like it's been used. But then he sees something and he's like, oh no, it's the Inspire key. And I guess she keyed in because you have to tell them that you want to do preferred parking and then they have to tap it in there or something before they scan your ticket. And she put in the wrong thing, I guess, which is why she was thinking it was $40. She thought I had a different tier pass or whatever. Finally, she figures it out. But that was my introduction into the parking garage. Like, first sitting there for a long time, and then second, her doing that.
James is thinking his identity's been stolen.
Yeah, I'm thinking, like, what the heck's going on? Like, like, who's got my pass? Who's using it? What are they doing?
How did they get here so early and get ahead of me?
Exactly. No kidding. So we got through there. We got on the tram. And meanwhile, like I'm getting antsy because Jason's in line. And then he's like, yeah, we're in the park. We got ours. And I'm like, still not on the tram.
Yeah, because let me see. I texted you At 8:16 said they opened the gates. Then you texted a few things, and I texted back 8:18. They're not letting anybody in yet. But then at 8:20, or I'll say 8. I'm saying 8:21 because it's on my phone, but it was actually 7:21. I was like, now they're letting them in, and we were in 4 minutes. And I text them, we're in, and we got our ears. So they seem to open the gates a little early.
I'm sure that Esplanade was getting full.
Oh yeah,
it was.
So then we get on the tram, we take it over
because they were passing the ears out at California Adventure as well.
They were
both sides. Yes.
So we get over to the Esplanade, we go in, we get in line, and it's funny because like two groups in front of us, there's this lady and her daughter, and she goes to scan in, she scans her ticket, and then her picture shows up, and she walks through, but she doesn't tap on the take picture. So, and as she starts walking through, she turns around to give her phone to her daughter so she can scan her ticket. Obviously they've had them both on the same phone, same account. And the cast member's like, no, excuse me, you need to tap on the take picture. And she's like, what? Huh? What? And so now she's getting all flustered and trying to figure out what she's doing. So she goes back and she scans it again, and she's like what? Meanwhile, I'm in line. I'm like, come on, lady. Like I can see him passing out the ears. I'm like, if they run out of ears right now while I'm right here, I'm going to be so pissed.
James is going to flip the table that those ears were sitting on.
You know it. So I'm sitting there, and she's like, oh, I have to hit take picture. So she hits take picture, and then the cast member's like, okay, come on through. And she starts walking through, but she forgets to give her daughter the phone. So her daughter's sitting there, and she's almost through the gate, and her daughter's like, hey, mom, I need the phone. And she like turns around like all perplexed, like, huh? She's like, oh, yeah, I forgot to give you the phone. And she lifts the phone up to hand it to her, and it slips out of her hand and falls on the ground and like slides 6 feet away underneath the other gate. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, I'm going to kill somebody. Like, I think that's when I texted you guys, I was like, I'm going to punch someone in the throat.
Well, let's see. Earlier,
and I don't know that I might have sounds like James is not having a good morning.
I might have said that at another time. I don't remember. I just remember saying something like, "It's a Wreck-It Ralph kind of day. I'm just going to go."
You said that earlier when you were in the parking structure, because I was going to mention that. You're like, "Yeah, I'm going to punch somebody in the throat." It's a Wreck-It Ralph type of day.
Yeah. So, anyways, I'm sitting there at the gates, and I'm just like, if I'm this close and I don't get the ears again, I'm going to be super pissed. But the cast member helped her get her phones, gave it to the daughter. She scanned through, the next group scanned through, and then we got through, and we got our ears in plenty of time, as it turns out.
Last year, did you finally get through? What time?
I don't know. I don't know if I put it on that text or not. I probably did. It had to have been, I think it was still before 8:00. So.
Oh, okay.
So last time, 2 years ago, I want to say they ran out of those ears in the first hour after opening. So I think it was before 9, but I'm really not 100% sure. And that's also why I kept going up to the front. I think if you look at the TikTok, I think I took 3 different videos, one at 8:30, one at 10:40, and one I wanted to be up there when they were passing out the last set. And of course, as Cody said, they were passing them out at DCA also. So I have no idea who ran out first, if it was DCA or Disneyland, but Disneyland ended up passing out their last pair at 11:03, and we happened to catch that on video and posted that. I thought out of the 3 videos that would be the most popular one, but it's funny, the one that I posted at 10:30 or 10:40, that one got like 45,000 views, like more than double what the next one.
You got in pretty quick. 7:35. You texted, said you got him.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, we were through pretty early. So after that, it was all just, looking around, seeing where else they had. And just, all the lines were crazy. Lines to get into the Emporium, lines to get into, they had a special pin. A lot of people, we were looking for a pin set for Brianna that she wanted. Not that was part of D23, but part of a Halloween pet set, like a mystery pack. So we went to get in line for, the Disney pin store across from the Emporium. And there was a long line for there because people were thinking that they were going in to get the D23 pins, and cast members kept coming out and saying, there are no D23 pins in here. And people would get upset and then they'd leave, but then other people would get in line. So anyways, there were lines everywhere, but we got in, we got our ears, and so yeah, I think Jason was already riding rides.
Yeah, we'll tell you about our Disneyland day next episode. So
Perfect. Sounds good.
So yeah, that was D23 day. A lot of things sold out. I will mention. Oh, I did want to talk about two things. I will mention there was a lot of people there because the lines for like the medallions were long, the pens were long, but the ride lines weren't that bad for how many people were inside
all in
the
line
park.
for all the other stuff.
They were there for the D23 stuff, taking taking their pictures and the cavalcade, which was me and Calvin walked down. We were going to stop and watch it, but man, it was packed. So yeah, we just went and did other stuff. So yeah, then Cody flew in Thursday night or Thursday afternoon, him and Tyler. Which I'll let you share your heading down to downtown Disney when we talk about Disneyland. So that'll be part of the trip report episode.
Okay.
But we all flew in, or he flew in with Tyler and Hannah. We were all there to go to D23, which started on Friday. Yeah, we met up early Friday morning. We all had on our brand new Talking Disney podcast. They look like bowling shirts.
They do look like bowling shirts.
Yeah,
they look
But I
like
love
bowling
them.
shirts.
I love those
it.
shirts. I'm really glad that you found that and that we ordered those. because-
James wore his last episode. Me and Cody got to wear ours for the first time on Friday.
Yep.
This
I
was
love
my
'em.
second time hitting D23. It was Cody's and James's third time. And like James had mentioned earlier, every time it seems to be different on the process to get in.
Yeah, especially the entry process.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. So this year, James and Teresa got in a little later than we did. The plan was to meet him in there. It's a funny story how we did end up eventually meeting each other, and we'll share that when we talk about what happened in the basement. Getting through security was not that bad. We pretty much just walked up. There was quite a few people kind of walking up at the same time, so we got put in a little line, but it wasn't bad. We got through security fairly quickly, fairly uneventful. None of us had problems with our tickets scanning them in to get in. So whatever Cody did or whatever we did it right, and they worked. So, and then if I remember last time, 2024, we kind of all congregated in front of the convention doors, right? We went through security, and then we just walked toward the convention doors, which is it's not right there. It is a pretty decent walk. To get back there. This year they did something a little different. Like I think Cody, I mentioned earlier, they had us queue up in the basement of the northern part of the convention center / add-on area. I don't know how old or new that section is, but down in the basement, they had us lining up in these huge long lines. And I don't know how many people that basement could hold, but there was quite a few down there.
Yeah, there had to be, if I had to put a number on how many people were in front of us by the time because that room was about 60% full, give or take, by the time we walked in.
But when we lined up, we were like if not 50, just a little past 50%, 60%. We were we were in the middle basically, but a little more toward the backside than the front side. So
yeah. If I had to guess, there had to been at least 3,000 people in front of us.
I would not be surprised if it was double that.
Yeah,
there was so many freaking people.
I would like to know the capacity of that basement area, and I know somebody had posted on Facebook said, "I'm not sure the fire marshal knows about this."
Yeah.
So,
and that's where, correct me if I'm wrong, Cody, but when we went the first time 4 years ago, that's where we went down to kind of check in and stuff. And like my line for the Legends thing was down there.
So you were in a basement, but it wasn't that basement. You were in the basement. That one? You were in the basement below Hall D by the bus turnaround area on the south side of the convention center.
That's right. I remember now because we took the escalator directly up, and that's where they had the Legends ceremony thing going on. Okay, yeah. Yep,
yeah.
So I'm guessing that their plan was to have these organized lines. It seemed well organized at the beginning. Granted, it was new, so we're like, what the heck's going on? Why are we down here? We should be up there by the convention center doors. But then once we saw people, they started letting people leave that area to head up to the convention doors in an orderly line. I think they could have started a little earlier because they didn't start. The doors open to convention at 9. I don't think they started letting people leave that area until 9 to walk up there. They could have started that about 8:30, where they would have had a good line going.
They did start it before 9 because in the footage I captured, it was. I think I had taken that before 9 o'clock, and they were starting to let people line by line funnel through the door, up the escalator.
And I think they could have started even earlier. And even once you get to the convention outside doors, they could have lined people. They had tape on the floor inside the convention center foyer area.
From people online that those lines were for the people that were getting through that had the early virtual queues before 9 a.m. They were lining them up there.
Okay. But it seemed like it was organized, even though it was taking a little longer than a lot of people wanted to. Especially there was a guy that was pretty upset talking to the cast member down there.
Was that me?
No, it wasn't you.
No, it was before you showed up.
He was just going off, and she was trying to answer his question. And granted, she didn't answer the question in a way that
didn't
like Cody would have answered, or somebody. She basically didn't answer it the right way.
No, she didn't. Her answer was confusing, which did not help this guy. He was mad what was going on.
Yeah, he seemed mad because we were down there and he wasn't able to get into the convention center.
And he, like us, was like, we used to just be able to go straight up to the convention center and wait in line in front of the doors, like all those glass doors in front of the main hall.
And she mentioned
like,
something
you
about
have to have a virtual queue, which And so, but then the way I wish I didn't want to record her. That might have been a little bit rude, but the way she was explaining it made it sound like you couldn't like
you weren't allowed to leave that area until your virtual queue was called.
Right. Like, like you had to have a virtual queue just to get into the show floor even after 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, do you have your virtual queue for here? And it's like, well, you don't need a virtual queue to be in the basement or to get onto the show floor. You know,
she was just explaining it very badly, and it wasn't answering his question, which then made him get even madder. And he started, he was yelling and so, anyways, it seemed fairly organized.
Which lines were going. I mean, I was a little bummed that we weren't able to just go straight up to the door.
Right.
But I wasn't mad about the organization.
Right.
I appreciated the organization. While it lasted.
Yeah. While it lasted.
Which
lasted till about 9:20.
Yeah, about there. Yep.
Yeah. And then we hear a commotion and we kind of all turn around and look, and people are just rushing the doors. We don't know if they were told, okay, everybody just go. We don't know if they said, hey, there's only 3 cast members there and there's a couple thousand of us. They can't stop us all. Let's just go.
Yeah. Because once 50 people start moving,
you're not stopping them. Yeah, if I'm a cast member at the door, I'm going to move. And one of the guys is like, I'm just here holding the door for people. He didn't know what was going on. So, but that's where. So we went out like the south door. James was more toward the back. I think he went out the north door, and then we happened to meet when we both went up the stairs or the escalator. And we met in that lobby.
Kind of came up to the top and was like, "Hey, I know that guy."
Yeah. Hey, what's going on here? So
and we all had that look of like, what the heck is going on here?
Yeah.
Yep.
So it started out organized, became disorganized. I'm going to jump. Well, before we talk about what we did inside, I'm going to jump to the next day because it was the same process, but it seemed like they had, I know I see some Anaheim PD walking around. They had more cast members, and we tried to fudge it a little.
We tried to game the system.
Yeah.
On Saturday morning.
Me, Calvin, and Cody went through security and was like, we're just going to hang out here and see what happens.
Well, because I assumed wrongly that once 9 o'clock hit, that if you were coming through security at 9 o'clock, you could just walk down the pathway and head straight to the convention center. That made sense in my mind.
But that was not the case.
That was not the case.
Yeah.
They were forcing you down into the basement even after 9 o'clock until that building of everybody in the basement was empty.
Yeah. But once they, I don't know if they got to full capacity but at some certain time though, they closed those doors and they stopped everyone coming in through security. They formed a line of like 6 or 7 cast members and said, nobody go past this point. We will let you go once that basement has cleared out.
Right.
And
And
we
then,
had
so
people
then you were
going to
just being held.
yeah, we were being held outside, which is fine. You know, on my virtual queue for my shopping happened to get called. And even though it said myself and a guest, I was like, well, yesterday they told us it was me plus 2 guests. And the lady's like, oh, okay, so all 3 you can go. So we kind of just, we were let in before our group of people were let in, and we joined the line of people coming out of the basement. Just so happened, in fact, I didn't get to go shopping because the line was too long to get there, and we had a panel that morning. But we'll talk about that
When we get to Saturday.
When we get to Saturday. So Friday, we made it in. Again, a lot of people. If it was your first time there, it was overwhelming, like it was for me last time. This time, I was a little more prepared for what I was going to see. But it was still a lot of people. I mean, it was
Yeah, it was a lot of people.
a lot of people. I mean, I don't know if you guys want to share anything. We didn't do much on Friday, I don't think. We kind of walked around a lot.
Yeah.
I didn't
gathering
have
of bearings, figuring out where everything is. We looked at a
Right.
couple of exhibits. Like we went over to like the Carrollwood barn, the Carrollwood train.
yeah, they had a diorama set up with train and Walt's house. That was very cool.
You know, the mice chat booth was over there. But I guess before we did any of that, we first walk in and we kind of are all like, well, what does everybody want to do? Because it was kind of the first time we were seeing James that morning, because there wasn't really an opportunity to get much of a game plan once we all came out of the basement and joined the horde of everyone trying to get to the convention hall. And so once we got into the hall, we were like, okay, well, what do we want to do? We turn around and Tyler and Hannah are gone. They were right there, and then they were just gone. They made a beeline over to the Spirit Jersey booth, which we weren't too far away from, where we happened to enter, because they wanted to get their hands on a limited edition Friday morning release from Loungefly. It was a Kingdom Hearts Loungefly, D23 exclusive, being released Friday morning. And Tyler and Hannah both have played Kingdom Hearts. They both like Kingdom Hearts. They wanted this Spirit Jersey. And so they went over there, and I'll kind of explain this on Tyler's behalf because he's not here with us tonight. But by the time they get over there, and James can maybe fill in if I get any of the details wrong or if I miss something, because I'm sure he talked to Tyler about it as well. But they get over there, and the line, you know, it's chaotic over there. Granted, it's not like we weren't the last ones in by any means, but we weren't the first one in by any means either. And so there were already a whole bunch of people in the line for this Spirit Jersey, and they didn't have much of an area for a line. And then I think they ended up retrofitting additional queue space in the corner.
Yeah.
That I think more than one booth throughout the weekend utilized, depending on crowd levels, for whatever. Because a lot of these booths, these other companies outside of Disney that had booths at the convention center, were doing a lot of D23 exclusive releases, either in the morning or in the afternoon or for each day. And if you wanted it, you had to be there first thing in the morning to try to get your hands on whatever these different companies were selling. So they went over there. The line was capped. And so they kind of hovered in the area for a little while to see, you know, when the line might open back up again for them to get into the line. And, you know, Tyler was just, you know, saying that it was chaotic over there and it was just a madhouse, people everywhere. And so the line eventually opens up. They get in the line at some point, and the line just takes 10 years. I mean, it's a very slow moving line. It doesn't help that not only are you buying, you know, I don't know, maybe up to 3 dozen different designs that they have with them at the convention for the weekend. They also have this like vending machine mystery game, for lack of a better word, but you can purchase for $90 a code. And I had mentioned this before, you know, in one of our earlier episodes before D23, that Loungefly was doing this mystery vending machine thing. It's the same price as any of their other Spirit jerseys that they were selling, $90. You buy the code. I mean, the code basically is like whatever the 4 categories: Disney, Disney Princess, Star Wars, or Marvel, and then your size, right? So you're getting something in your size. It's not like a gamble that it's not going to fit. You're getting something in your size, and then you get to pick the category. And there's like 4 or 5 different designs per category that you could get, and you don't know which one you will get because they're in bags that you can't see through. And then like they have different rarities. Some of the designs are more rare than others. And so it's a mystery on what you're going to get. So I think that was making the line slow because everybody was wanting to do that. Anyways, I think it was like 11:30. Go ahead, James.
Rumor has it they're still in line today.
Yeah. And I heard that vending machine broke like the next day or later that day.
Yeah.
So
I think it was close to 11:30, maybe around 11:30 or after that. He had texted, or I had texted him asking how things were going. And, you know, he said that things were not going well by any means. They were still in line.
Poor Tyler.
No. And so at this one, and Tyler and Hannah only had the 1 day, they only bought the 1 day pass to the convention center, where the 3 of us, we had the 2 day passes. Because they were going into the park on Saturday for 1 day. And, you know, they finally get up to the counter where you can tell them what you want, you know, and make your purchase. And he said when they got up to the counter, they were notified that basically the one they really wanted, the Kingdom Hearts one, was sold out. And so they waited all that time, their whole morning. They wasted, for lack of a better word, their entire morning trying to get this Spirit jersey. And then by the time they get to the front of the line, oh, I'm sorry, we're sold out.
And just to add a little bit to that, I'm pretty sure the way Tyler told me, they had just checked, because I think they were checking different availability of the different designs and the different sizes. And I feel like they had just been told that Spirit jersey, the one that you want, is still available. It's still in your size. You guys are good to go. Go ahead and head to the register and check out.
And I think it was only like maybe 5 minutes at max between the person telling them that and when they hit the counter.
Yeah. So
which added to the frustration, because it was like that person over there just said they were available, but there clearly was either a delay in information or enough of the people in front of them bought whatever was left. I don't know which one, but so I felt bad for them. But it seems like that experience that they had might have been more on the extreme side, because they were going for like an exclusive. But it seemed to be the trend for almost anywhere that was selling something the entire weekend.
Yeah, no, we didn't. I know Cody got in to do some shopping on Saturday or Friday. Calvin and I didn't. We weren't really. We had got a a virtual queue for later, or for sometime later in the day, for the D23 marketplace. Ended up we weren't able to go because we had to leave for the Honda Center for the
because you got a backup group.
Yeah, but it was called I think right when we were leaving. So because I know we got onto the buses. Oh yeah, we went to that panel later in the day. James had got
the music panel.
Yeah, no, we went to the Walt Disney 125.
Oh, yes,
which was cool. James had got that in his reservations, and Calvin didn't want to go, so all 6 of us, the rest of us, were able to go. Me and Cody had to duck out early and meet Calvin at the buses, because the buses started to head over to the Honda Center, which we'll get to the Honda Center in a minute. But so that day was, for me and Calvin anyways, it was just kind of walking around, just seeing things. We didn't wait in a lot of lines for things. We just, we went over to the Mice Chat thing. We got our picture taken with Bob Gurr. He seemed a little upset that day. He was not, didn't seem like he was having a good day. But we still got to get our picture taken. I said a few words to him, and then we went on our way.
Begrudgingly.
Yeah. So I threw it through AI, and now I have a picture with Bob Gurr, and he's smiling. So it's all good. We checked out the mice chat area. We for that day was kind of just walking around for at least for me. We didn't wait in a lot of lines, and I don't know if Cody, because I know Cody, we did kind of separate certain times during the day.
Yeah, because after we did, the Marceline mice chat and the trains,
which was all right there in the same area,
which was kind of all right there next to each other. My virtual queue for the D23 marketplace, which we were also kind of nearby, was called. I booked it for 2 people, which was the max you could book it for.
Which I was very thankful for.
Yeah. And I didn't really have anyone to take with me. I could have taken, Jason and Calvin, but they had one. And at this point, this was like, I don't know, 11:45, give or take, maybe close to noon when it got called. They had one later that day. At that point in time, we didn't know exactly when it would be called. So they're like, yeah, we'll wait and see when ours gets called. And I said, well, I asked James if he wanted to come in with me, because he didn't have a virtual queue for the day. So it was like, well, you might as well come in with me.
And I was like, yep, Teresa, hold my bag. I'll be back. I don't think she was too happy I went.
Yeah, I don't know if it would have been better for me to take her or me to take you, but
oh no, you definitely made the right choice. Just kidding.
I was going to say, I don't know what the line looked like to get in at another point in time throughout the day on Friday, but I know at least on Saturday when I would walk past, and Jason's experience trying to get in on Saturday morning, is that the line for the D23 marketplace wrapped around the store in the convention hall, and then there were a couple switchbacks behind it, right? But when James and I got in on Friday, it was maybe only halfway down the side, and that was it. So it was pretty. We didn't wait, I don't know, 5 minutes maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
It moved pretty quickly. Yeah,
we got right in there.
And I think maybe we spent like 45 minutes in there, or at least I did. I felt like I was in there for a while, but I'm trying to communicate with Lucy, like, because some things, what's going to be in there.
How much money can I spend?
Well, it wasn't even that. It was just like, do you like any of this? Do you want me to buy any of this? Because I wanted her to feel like she wasn't, or I didn't want her to feel like she was missing out because she wasn't able to come with me. That if there was something there that she was interested in, I wanted to buy it for her since she couldn't come with me. And some things I knew, they were doing different releases ahead of the weekend of like, this is what's going to be in this store. This is what's going to be in this store. But there's always other things in there that you're just not aware of, right? And some of the art and stuff like that, it's like maybe they made an announcement that this particular artist would be in there, but I don't even know if they did that. So you don't really know what art is going to be in there. And we ended up buying a piece of an art, just a print and a mat. But and then I also bought a technically, I'm a reseller, guys. I hate to break it to you.
Oh shoot.
I bought one of the Princess Diaries anniversary collection Genovia crew neck sweater, and I bought that for Amalia. She asked me if I could find one in her size.
Well, you're not a reseller, you're a personal shopper.
I guess maybe that's what it is. It's a personal shopper.
Yeah.
I bought it for someone. I knew who I was going to when I went in to buy it, rather than just buying one in every size and then listing it on eBay. So
yeah, big difference.
When I get in there, though, the Princess Diaries collection is pretty much right in the front on the left, and I go over there because it's like, well, that's the one thing I know I'm getting in here. The rest of it, I kind of was trying to send pictures, and my service sucked inside of that building.
It was horrible.
Yeah, I don't know how bad it was for anybody else, but it was really bad. So I'm trying to send pictures of this stuff and wait for her to get back to me on what she may want or not want, especially with some of the art stuff, because it's like, hey, do you like this piece or whatnot? And anyways, I'm looking through the Princess Diaries sweaters, and Amalia had requested a medium, and all I'm finding are either extra larges or 2X's and smalls. And they had like several, like racks of them, and I couldn't find a medium anywhere. And so I texted Amalia, because she wanted to know how much it was first, because that information wasn't available ahead of D23. She knew it was going to be there, but she didn't know what it was going to cost. And so I confirmed with her the price, and she says, okay, I want it. I need a medium. And I said, okay, great. No problem. I'll get it for you. And then like 2 minutes later, I text her. I was like, there are no mediums. And then she's like, well, I guess maybe I'll do a small then. And I was like, okay, there are some small. So I grabbed a small. And then I kind of start walking around to go explore the rest of the area, see what other merch and stuff they have that, for myself or for Lucy. And then I see a worker carrying a whole bunch of Genovia sweaters. And I was like, I'm gonna go check those out. And I ended up finding a medium in those that they were bringing out. Because I had asked a cast member already before I texted Amalia that I couldn't find any mediums. And I said, I was like, are you guys out already of all the other sizes? Like, is this what's out? Is that all you have? And the cast member told me that they weren't even full. They didn't even have the store fully stocked at 9 a.m. that morning. So I don't know what happened with the logistics there on getting the store fully stocked before 9 a.m. Friday morning, but it sounds like they were behind and they were still working on getting stuff put out. And then also people are starting to come in and shop. And so they were working on it. She says, we're bringing stuff out in batches. So yeah, I was able to find a woman coming out with more sweaters, and I found the medium and grabbed a medium. So walked around at a couple of other things, saw the Small Kingdom collection of like the Christmas Village, for lack of a better word, type figurines.
Did you end up getting those?
I did not.
Okay. Those were cool, but I feel like they were way too expensive.
Weren't they like $250 a piece or something?
The cheapest one was $129, I want to say, and the castles were $229.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was $129, $179, and then $229.
The fire station was the cheapest one, right?
I believe so.
Yeah,
I believe the fire station was $129. The train station was the $179, and then I think the two castles were both $229 each. I believe that's what I remember. Anyways.
I think you're right. I have a picture of it somewhere, but yeah, I think you're right. And I don't know. I like it, and I like the idea of it, but then I was sitting there looking at it, and I was just like, I just don't know if the quality and the look of it warrants the price tag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like for it being almost $250, I feel like in comparison, the $250 or $280, whatever it costs, I think it was $250 for the Jose Tiki Room animatronic.
It was.
I felt like that was, granted, is that still expensive? Yes, but I think that was a better value for the price than the Little Kingdom, castle and train station. So
yeah. So Friday seemed, we didn't do a lot. We walked around, saw some things. I know we kind of separated for a little while. Calvin and I got to walk around. My impression of Friday is just there was a long line for everything. It didn't matter what it was. And at certain points, I would text Marsh, be like, yeah, there's just too many people here. And at that point, I'm like, who knows if I'm going back in 2028? Because this is a lot of people,
Well, yeah, because before we went over to do the Carolwood and Mice Chat and the trains and all that, we stood in line for the Disney Music.
Disney Music, yeah.
And they were selling the vinyl records for different Disney soundtracks, this, that, and the other. And the nice thing that they were doing is they were offering to, they handed out a pamphlet of what their offerings were, and there was a QR code on it, and you could buy them. And at any point, if you made an order before Monday or by the end of the day Monday, you got free shipping, and it was just going to ship to your home. So you didn't have to worry about like trying to travel or anything with records, which I thought was, hey, that's pretty nice,
Yep.
And anyways, they had a line not to buy anything, but basically to get a freebie. You spun a wheel and you could get a pin, a hat,
A bag.
some concert tickets, a tote bag. I don't know what
Yeah.
else there was on
Calvin
there,
got the
but-
concert tickets and didn't want to. I mean, he wouldn't have gone to that concert anyways, and who knows where it was at.
Yeah, probably in
So-
California.
Yeah. So
I mean, as nice as it would have been to get the concert tickets, if I had gotten it, I don't know if I would have been able to make it
Yeah,
work to
yeah.
go.
So-
But, anyways, but we stand. I think what were we in that line for almost an hour
hour probably to spin the wheel.
to
I-
spin
I-
the wheel.
I got a pin. It's cool. It's like looks like a record, but it's Mickey ears. So yeah, it was cool. I'll throw it on my pin board.
I think I got a keychain, but I don't
Yeah.
even know for sure.
I think Teresa got the bag, right?
She got the bag. I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
I got a keychain.
I think you did. Yeah.
I got a hat, baseball
Yeah.
cap.
So
And but it was just like there were people everywhere, and it was like, well, we stand in line here, we stand in line there.
right.
I guess we'll stand in line here.
Now my thing with Calvin, I wanted him. It was his first time, so I was like, hey, whatever you want to do, I'll go do. If there's a panel you want to go to, he didn't really see any panels he really wanted to go to on
Well,
Friday.
and then I don't know. It seemed like he was interested in the Kingdom Hearts thing on Saturday,
but
and
then he changed his
decided
mind.
not to go.
Yeah. So yeah,
And
but
I
he
thought-
had fun. He had fun though. I mean, he was like, yeah,
Okay.
this is cool. Just walking around and.
I mean, you
seeing-
see a
seeing
lot
the-
of cool things. There's a lot of people dressed up in cosplay and costumes, and they're, I mean, keep your head up and on a swivel because you never know who you're going to see.
Right.
I was using my new camera and I was vlogging the Pixar Animation Studios show floor experience, and it was like a timeline of Pixar with inside on the walls, and you could see concept art for the different movies, and there were little placards on the wall for each year and like each movie and a little, whatever it was saying about it. I didn't really read it, to be honest with you, but you could tell it was a timeline of 40 years of Pixar, right? And I'm in that booth and I can see the little viewfinder on my camera, and I see this mustache, and I recognized this mustache. And then I look up. I don't know. It seems like when you're using those cameras, you're looking in the viewfinder rather than what's like out in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
And
Because if you don't, the camera will swivel, and then what you're
Yeah.
wanting to catch gets out of frame.
yeah, so you kind of have to like monitor like what the camera is actually looking at. And then I see, if anybody listening is familiar with the Super Carlin brothers, Jay and Ben Carlin, Super Carlin Brothers is a YouTube channel. They are known for this. They do a whole bunch of theory type videos. Their thing is like Harry Potter, and then probably secondary is like Pixar. One of the things that really kind of like grew their channel back in the day was this video that went viral called The Pixar Theory. And it's this video that kind of explains how every Pixar movie is within the same universe on the same timeline and how they're all connected. And so they made a video breaking that down, and they've made a couple new iterations over the years to update it for, the new releases and things like that. And every time a new Pixar movie comes out, they'll make one about that movie and how this movie fits into the Pixar theory and stuff like that. And so I've been watching those guys on YouTube since 2013. They also have a podcast where once a week they put out an episode, and it discusses a single chapter in order of a Harry Potter book. They started with Philosopher's Stone chapter by chapter, and now they're in book like 5 or 6.
Oh, that's what we'll do. We'll read a chapter of Bob Chapek's new book once a week.
There we go. And
Sounds
so
like a good idea.
I listened to their podcast and I watched their YouTube videos. They did a live podcast event in Salt Lake City in March, and I actually went to that event in Salt Lake City a few months ago and met them there briefly. And I just happened, and you can tell, I was going to mention it later, but I have a YouTube video up of like a vlog I did of the D23 weekend. And you can tell basically as soon as I kind of come across them in the video, I stop speaking and I turn the camera off. And then at that point, I turned the camera off, or I stopped recording anyways. And I was like, hey, excuse me, I'm so sorry to bother you, but can I take a picture with you? And I got to say, they were the nicest guys. I mean, I've met them once briefly before, and it's not like I had a long conversation with them there either, but they were so nice. They both got on each side of me. They took like 4 or 5 pictures on my phone, and I talked to them briefly, and they were just the nicest guys ever. So, really cool guys. Really enjoy what they do. So, but yeah, I don't know where I was going with that, but I was saying, you never know who you're going to see at these conventions, right? There were celebrities everywhere. We ran into throughout the whole weekend, Imagineers and just celebrities. I ran into John Stamos. I didn't actually run into him, but came across him. He walked, past me. Lots of people, lots of cosplayers, lots of YouTubers, lots of TikTokers and Instagrammers.
Yeah, if you know who you're looking for,
yeah,
you could see him. I mean, there we probably walked by hundreds that we didn't recognize.
Yeah, for sure.
Because after I saw on Saturday when we were watching that trivia game with Brett Iwan and Belle Farmer and the voice of Minnie Mouse, after I saw her, I was like, you know what? I walked by her 6 times today, and I didn't even realize it was her. We walk, there's a guy that Marcia watches on one of her ghost shows. His name's Aaron. I think he's on Ghost Hunters.
Oh yeah.
Me and Calvin walked by him Friday. He was at the park Saturday, but we walked by him Friday, and I was like, you know what? This guy looks very familiar, but I don't know who he is. And we walked by him again. I was like, I wish I knew who this guy was, but I'm not going to stop and say, hey, who are you? And then when
I don't know if that's better than being like, oh my gosh, you're this person.
Yeah.
Than being like,
she texted me later and said, hey, I just saw Aaron from Ghost Hunters on another person she watches, which we'll talk about here in a little while. He was talking to this guy, and I was like, that's who it is. It's Aaron from Ghost Hunters. Me and Calvin were walking next to him for, by a couple stores. And I was like, who is this guy that I'm giving the side eye to, trying to figure out who he is? But yeah, there's just a bunch of people that you'll run into.
We did end up. Benson was all over the place. Yeah. Susan Egan was all over the place.
We were in line. Brett Iwan walked by.
Yeah, he was everywhere.
So
lots of people. I mean,
they're everywhere. Like I mentioned, we ended up going to that panel, Walt Disney. I think it was called Walt Disney 125 Years or Walt Disney 125, which was very cool.
125 years of inspiration.
There you go. They had Brett Iwan was there. Bob Gurr was there. The granddaughter
of Walt.
Yeah, was there. She was telling some stories. One of the cool stories she told is that Walt used to give them free reign when they would go to the studios, and she actually knocked down the carousel horse in the Mary Poppins set. Nobody knew. So, but yeah, me and Cody had to leave early for that one. Was there anything, James, Friday that was, memorable?
The one thing that was memorable to me was meeting Bob Gurr.
All right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know if maybe I should tell that story from my perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Mice Chat was having, basically their theme was kind of a walk in Walt's footsteps, and they had different legends and different Imagineers that were in their booth throughout the weekend. And of course, everyone that's ever listened to this knows that I love Mice Chat. I love Dusty Sage. Was able to sign up for the Gumball Rally that Friday morning before we even got out of bed. But anyways, Bob Gurr, we walked around to see who was at Mice Chat, and Bob Gurr was there. And I thought, oh, cool. Like, I didn't go a few years ago when he was at the Gumball Rally for the Friday night thing, and I've shared that story on here
ever since.
Yes. And so I was like, oh, this is the opportunity to meet him and get a picture with him. He was sitting behind a table, kind of 2 tables like arranged in a V, and he was sitting behind him. And people were waiting in line to get a picture with him. And basically, they're just kind of leaning over the table to take a picture with him. And it got to be my turn. And I went up there and, tried to be cordial and try to, like, hey, Bob, how you doing? It's really nice to meet you. And he just kind of stared at me. And and you could tell as you were waiting in line for your turn, you could see him. He just wasn't smiling. He didn't seem happy.
He didn't look comfortable.
He didn't look comfortable at all.
He looked like he was being forced to be there against his will.
Yes. Like he was just sitting there kind of slumped over. So it's my
Blink
turn.
once if you need help, Bob.
Yeah, it's my turn. And I'm like, oh, man, hey, how you doing? And he really doesn't acknowledge me. And he points to something on the table. And he's like, you need to be close to that. And I'm like, okay. Like, I'm pretty sure I don't need to be close to that to be in the picture, but I'll move closer to it. And I turned And Teresa took the picture. Teresa didn't care to get a picture. And then right after that, like I stand up to kind of walk away. And of course, I'm first in line out of the three of us. I think Cody was next.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as they takes a picture with me, Bob kind of turns to the guy that's kind of overseeing him and being close to him. And he's like, this isn't working. This isn't working. And I'm like, oh, great. I just broke Bob Gurr.
Bob was about to flip a table.
like this isn't working. I ain't taking pictures with these morons anymore. And I'm like, and I feel bad. And it's like, man, he's being a bit of an ass too, you know? He's like, and it's like, and then he said, you know, and then he wanted to stand up to take the rest of the pictures. And so he stood up, went to the, you know, a little backdrop there. And then Cody and Jason, of course, got to take pictures with him standing up. And in the back of my mind, I'm a little jealous because I'm like, well, my picture sucks compared to the picture that they just took, but I don't want to wait in line again. And honestly, like my thoughts of Bob are a little sour now because of this interaction, you know? And I'm like, man, screw you, Bob.
I was, well, because you kind of got up because Bob got up and he was talking to his handler.
We'll call him
handler.
Handler.
Yeah. Talking to his handler, just like, this isn't working. And he, to give him some credit, he was in like a plastic chair, like plastic folding chair. Like
he was like 92.
Yeah, the guy's in his 90s. Like I'll say he's spry for a 90-something-year-old, but still, like you could tell he was not comfortable. He was probably hurting from the chair because at that age, if you're not in a comfortable chair, things just hurt, right? And I think that was irritating and making him agitated. And it got to a point where, you know, James was about the last straw of what he could take, you know, as far as sitting and taking these pictures.
I broke Bob.
And so James kind of gets up and, you know, leaves the picture area. And then I kind of come in, I hand the attendant, you know, my phone, or he offers to take my phone so he can take the picture. And I kind of kneel down at the table, and start to get ready for my picture. And that's kind of when Bob starts talking to his handler. And it was just like, this isn't working. And, you know, he's getting upset. He's moving the chair out of the way. I was like, oh, Bob's about to rage quit. I'm not even going to get my picture. Like, James may not have gotten a very good picture, but I was like, I'm not even going to get one. I got all the way here. I'm kneeling in front of this table, and then Bob's going to rage quit. But they figured out after like a minute or two, the guy holding my phone was like, just stand up for a minute. Cause I think he was unsure, you know, like, are we going to continue to do this? Like, what's happening here? He hands me back my phone. He kind of also goes behind the table to kind of see what's going on or what can be arranged. And then, they figure out Bob just needed to stand. And he was still, again, wasn't smiling, but I don't know. I think at some point when you're in your 90s, you just get tired of being paraded around. But
you know, you get to that point in your life and like you get to do whatever the heck you want to do. You get to act however the heck you want to act, do whatever you want to do. Like, people owe you some respect when you're in your 90s like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think. Anyways.
And I think we were all, you know, James, you know, was being very cordial and respectful. Like,
I was
appreciative of, you know, the opportunity to take the photo with Bob. I mean, Bob's a legend, you know, in title and all, you know.
Yeah.
But
so we did get to see Bob later that night at the panel. He was there. James got to see him dance at the end. Cody and I were already gone. Yeah. The panel was cool. I like things like that. I like the panels. It was I mean, that was the last thing we did before Cody and I headed over to the Honda Center. James, I think, stuck around for a little while after. So
we did go to another panel earlier in the day, at least you, me, and Calvin. I think it was just the three of us.
Oh, yeah. The Michael
Giacchino.
Giacchino, yeah.
I think I've been saying it wrong because the guy that introduced him said Giacchino. I've been pronouncing it Giacchino.
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 Yeah, that was a cool panel. He's done a lot of music.
Talked about his early career and everything and kind of just how he came to be where he is now.
Very interesting guy. So
I
like to hear stories like that. Like the stuff that you don't get to hear on the Wikipedia page or in Google. So it's We did get a cool gift leaving. We got an
Yeah.
Up vinyl single that's it's a cutout of
Carl Russell.
yeah. I
So
haven't played
it's like
it
a
yet.
die cut. It's not a standard circle. It's a 7-inch
Right.
circle, but then there's more around the 7-inch to kind of give you the shape of the
Yeah.
characters.
And I have to admit, I was very jealous when I saw that you guys had that, and I thought,
Right.
oh man,
Because you could have gone.
I mean, as far
I could
as
have.
I know
You
sometimes
had room.
the pins are like $20 to $30, but I feel like oftentimes like the free pins that sometimes you get from these things are probably not valued that high, right? And I felt like as far as like a freebie that you're getting, this felt like a
Right.
decent value, you know?
Yeah. And then like I asked James after the Walt panel, did they get anything? They got nothing after that. So I don't know if James can talk about it a little more if he wants to when we get back or when he gets back, but we did head over to the Honda Center, and I'm not going to go through every. We're running long anyway, so I'm just going to kind of highlight a few things that I thought was cool. I mean, there was all kinds of. It was a lot of updates rather than brand new announcements this year. I think that goes for our panel and the parks panel.
Definitely goes for the parks panel.
But like there was updates on the Tangle live action. There was updates on Incredibles 3, on Coco 2, on Frozen 3. And we knew these things were coming out, but we got to see either some live action shots, or we got to see some new concept art, or we got more details of what is going to happen. But the coolest one,
at least like a teaser for everything, if not a full trailer.
Yeah. There was a couple new ones, like the Simpson movie, I think was a new thing. Anne Hathaway was on stage. She kind of hinted that, hey, Princess Diaries 3 is coming.
We probably got the least amount of information about that.
Yeah.
There was no
it was
teaser, there was no trailer. Just
it was like
we're working very
on it.
hard to get it done.
Lilo and Stitch 2 sequel.
Which,
got the Bluey.
not really a teaser, but just like an animated title card.
Yeah, we got the Bluey movie coming August of 2027. Ice Age Boiling Point. Queen Latifah and Dennis Leary were there.
Mm-hmm.
That's coming early next year, 2027 in February. We got quite a few cheers from when they showed Catherine Hahn coming out as Mother Gothel. And we got wasn't really a trailer for that or anything, but it was them on set.
You got a little behind the scenes on set.
The scenes.
The actor for Flynn and Rapunzel.
Tegan Croft and Milo Manheim.
Hey, D23, we're so happy we're on set, whatever.
Yeah, we're here in Spain recording. Wish we could be there kind of thing. That one's still got a ways to come out, March 31st, 2028. Cool. We got John Favreau on stage talking about his new Oswald the Lucky Rabbit series that's coming out soon. And we did get, he said, hey, when you're leaving, you'll get a set of 4 Oswald cards, which were pretty cool. And we got those when we left. That series is coming February 17th, 2027, exclusively on Disney Plus.
He also then talked a little bit about the Nat Geo documentary that he's been at least executive producing,
right?
Called Lion.
And that came out today.
Along with Leslie Iwerk's new documentary about
so we got some stuff
Disney
to
parks.
watch. Lion looks very cool.
Looks really good.
Yeah.
I'm excited to watch that.
Yeah, I think either Cody mentioned it or I read it somewhere online that said this was the Lion King we thought we were getting with live action.
Yeah, which I believe Jon Favreau was also involved with. That Lion King.
Basically, Nat Geo and them, they followed this lion pride around for 4 years, and everything they filmed was natural. They didn't force anything. They didn't create anything to happen. They said whatever's going to happen is going to happen. We're going to record it, and hopefully something good comes out of it. And according to them, it is very good. So we got some Incredibles 3 news from Pete Docter. I think we got a preview of some of the suits, and the story's going to kind of center on the kids. And not really a lot of other details. Got some stuff about Coco 2. Benjamin Bratt came out, which he's Ernesto de la Cruz. We have some concept art with Miguel. He's a teenager now. And basically he kind of said that, Ernesto's coming back to get revenge on Miguel, but at the end they kind of have to work together to defeat some other enemy. So, and then after that, I think we got the biggest cheer when the Kingdom of Hearts, they started talking about that collaboration with the new Kingdom of Hearts 4 coming out, which will feature a world inspired by Coco, and that's got a late 2027 release date. I'm not a big Kingdom of Hearts person, but that sounded like it, besides Frozen, maybe that got the biggest response from the audience.
Because it was Kingdom Hearts, a new Kingdom Hearts game has been speculated for a long time. That was like the first real, like, yes, it's happening. Yeah. We're working on it. And then to also see like footage from the game, like the Coco world within the game. Right. And then after that, it was kind of glossed over. They put like a preliminary title card on the screen, and there will be a Disney Plus series, a Kingdom Hearts series on Disney Plus coming soon as well.
Yep. Yeah. I think I was most excited for, which this is one of the things that I had not heard of. So brand new. Pete Docter started talking about this original brand new film they're working on called Ghost Market. They showed a clip which introduces audience to Ono Market, which is a little lunch shop hidden away in a remote location on Oahu's North Shore that serves lost spirits that are stuck between life and death. The living had never set foot in this place until this little kid named Kyle kind of walks in, kind of lost. And I think the line was do you guys take Apple Pay?
Yeah. There's like a bowl of ramen on the counter.
A bowl of ramen. They had a quick trailer for that. That one looks very cool. I'm excited for that, coming out March 2028. And I think that comes out right around the same time as Tangled. So
yeah. And it looks like it, like I'm more excited for that than I am Gato, which we also got some like another scene and a trailer for, which comes out at the beginning of this coming year or something.
March 5th, 2027. Yeah.
Yeah. I think this Ghost Market looks like it's going to be way better than Gato.
Yes. Yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
Let's see what else. We got Romeo and Michelle 2 coming to Hulu in 2027. I wasn't a fan of Romeo and Michelle the first one. So
I couldn't even tell you. I've never seen the first one.
Skip that. Marvel, we got, let's see, what they talk about. Vision Quest, a new series coming to Disney Plus October of this year.
We got a full trailer for Vision Quest.
Yeah. Little about Avengers Doomsday. We got, I guess, the trailer they showed. They also showed at Comic-Con.
Yes.
But between Comic-Con and D23, it wasn't released until D23, right? As far as on YouTube where you can go watch it.
Yeah, it was not officially released. I'm sure someone released something, like a leak that they had recorded at Comic-Con. But yeah, officially it was released, at the same time or just after we saw it at D23. So
yeah, so this says in Avengers Doomsday, beloved heroes from 3 distinct universes will be set on a deadly collision course and face an existential threat unlike anything they've encountered. So, well, you got DC in there. You got Marvel.
Not DC. X-Men.
Not DC. Sorry.
X-Men.
X-Men. Yeah. So,
DC would be crazy.
Yeah. What else do we? Oh, we got a little thing with Wolverine and Deadpool, where they were Deadpool was off screen talking to Hugh Jackman. That was kind of fun to watch.
Yeah, basically Hugh Jackman was like, "Hey, Kevin, if you and he's talking to Ryan Ryan off screen.
Ryan's trying to get him to say things.
Yeah, it's like, if you need, help rounding out the cast, he's like rounding out the cast, and Ryan Reynolds is like, Hugh, just follow the effing script, and they bleeped out effing or whatever, and he's like, yeah, Kevin, if you just need help, rounding out the cast for Avengers Doomsday, we're here, and so it was like this weird, like they're not confirming that Wolverine or Deadpool are going to be in Doomsday, but they're not explicitly saying that they're not either.
Right.
I guess they did something similar at Comic-Con, but Ryan Reynolds actually came out at Comic-Con and again said the same thing, more or less, was like, hey, Kevin, I'm not doing anything. If you need help with Doomsday, let me know. So
Yeah. Let's see. Lucasfilm got the announcement of a second season of Ahsoka.
You did not just skip the last major Marvel announcement.
Oh, what was the last major? It's not on this list.
Official announcement for the X-Men cast, the new X-Men cast.
That hasn't made it onto this list yet. I'm going
That
down.
was before we moved on to Lucasfilm. That was after Doomsday and before Ahsoka.
Well, you know what? It's not on this Walt Disney Entertainment Showcase from the Walt Disney Company list.
That's quite interesting because that also received quite a large.
Oh, here it
cheer.
is. It's a small little article. It's tiny.
That's weird. It was this bullet point directly between Doomsday and Ahsoka.
Yeah, I went down to the new Marvel Wolverine Marvel game. So X-Men coming out, untitled, but it will be in theaters May 5th, 2028. So another 2028 film. That sounds like a good year for movies.
Yeah.
It says Marvel Studios Showcase presentation concluded on an electrifying note as Feige was joined on stage by Sadie Sink, who debuted as Jean Grey in Spider-Man Brand New Day. They discussed the new X-Men film in development. A couple of castmates came to the stage. Kit Connor as Scott Summers, Christopher Abbott as Professor Charles Xavier, Samara Weaving as Emma Frost. Is Indy Navarrete as Rogue and Maya Boyd as Storm. They had a special video with Adam Driver. That was cool. Where he announced that he was Magneto, which wasn't true. And then it was hard to hear in the stadium, but he says, and I'm going to be Magneto. And then he goes, in the camera, he's like, oh, wait, no. Oh, actually. And then he says that like this name. And if you're not familiar with comics, you're like, who? I think he said like Nathaniel Millsbury or something like that. He announced that he will play Nathaniel Millbury. Yeah.
Which I guess, and I'm not a comic book person, but from what I saw online afterwards, that I guess he's going to be playing Mr. Sinister. As is his name, I guess. I've never heard of Mr. Sinister because pretty much all the X-Men movies that we have already it's been either like Apocalypse as the bad guy or Magneto as the bad guy. So, because Kevin Feige was just asked at Comic-Con like about Adam Driver, and he's like, we've been trying to get Adam Driver to work on one of our projects for a long time, and he keeps turning us down. We'd love to get him on a project at some point. So it is cool, Adam Driver. So I think a lot of people wanted him to be Magneto.
Yeah.
But I also think it's cool that Marvel isn't initially going to go with a Magneto storyline right out the gate again. So
Lucasfilm, Ahsoka season 2, January 2027. I never saw season 1, so
season 1 was good.
Was good.
Okay.
It was one of the better shows. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Director Sean Levy from Lucasfilm Star Wars Starfighter came on stage with Ryan Gosling, the star of the new film. They had a teaser trailer that they showed. He came out wearing a Mickey Mouse Club leather jacket and then swapped it for his jacket from the movie.
That's funny.
So
it was pretty funny.
When's that movie come out?
That comes out May 28th, 2027. So next May, Memorial Day
too
weekend.
Far away.
Yeah, one of the movies we'll be choosing from for our 2027 Disney fantasy draft.
Yep.
Movie draft.
After Cody wins this year.
Yeah,
I'm not winning this year.
We will see. We'll have an update next podcast.
You're like 700 million ahead.
Let's see.
Walt Disney Doomsday comes out.
That's a lot of money to have to make up, and you still got another movie too.
Which probably won't make that much. So you're still only having to make up 700 million. Which Doomsday will do by Saturday when it comes out. So
we had Zootopia 3 is officially in early development. We got a little add-on to the
post-credit
credit scene from Zootopia 2 where the feather fell by the carrot. We got a little more what to do with that. There's no announcement date or there was no announcement of a release date for Zootopia 3.
Probably 2028.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good year.
That'll probably be a Thanksgiving release, either in 28 or 29.
Yep. We got one announcement of a movie called Clay from Walt Disney Animation Studios. That's a working title. It says and that the Academy Award winner Kieran Culkin will be starring in the leading role as a guy named Flip. They had some concept art. It's explained that when the rebellious misfits Flip is unwillingly chosen during a yearly ritual to mentor a young, impressionable ball of clay named Mushy, the unlikely duo is swept into a chaotic, funny, and ultimately life-changing adventure. I'm not sold on that one yet. That's coming out sometime in 2028.
I don't think many people are. I wouldn't be surprised if that one gets canned. Wouldn't be the first time they've announced a movie at D23 that never actually made it to the theater.
November 25th, 2026, they talked about Disney's Hex coming out. We got a little, I think it's just a longer trailer or a new trailer. They welcomed Walton Goggins to the stage.
He's playing.
As it was revealed, he will voice the new character Beef Roger Crumchuck, which is like a three-eyed magical cat.
He's the comedic relief.
Yeah, two-time Academy Award winner Jodie Foster took the stage, and they revealed that she will voice Queen Celeste, the sinister figure who will stop at nothing to maintain her power in perpetuity over Hex. So that comes out later this year. That's my movie, so go see it. It needs to make about 900 million. And then after that, they were like, okay, kind of that's the end of the night. Thanks for coming. And got a big sigh from the audience. And they're like, nah, we're just kidding. We got Kristen Bell and Idina Menzel coming on the stage to talk about Frozen 3, along with Josh Gad, who sang, they sang a song, but then he also sung new love. Yeah, he sung his new love song for Olaf's first crush titled Ooh, Samantha.
Ooh, Samantha.
So that's coming out November 24th, 2027. So Thanksgiving in 2027. And then we probably got Zootopia 3 Thanksgiving of 2028. Yep. Percy Jackson and the Olympians was announced as far as their next season, which is what, season
3?
Yeah, coming out November 20th, 2026. I never really got into Percy Jackson.
Is that a good show? Cody, do you watch it?
I don't watch it. I think it's targeted a little younger than
Younger
me.
audience. Yeah.
Yeah. I think if I was in the right target audience, I think I'd love it because I grew up reading those books.
Right.
And
the action looks good. The sets look good. The scenes look good. I just can't get into it.
We did like when the first season came out, I think we watched like the first 2 episodes, but I had a hard time getting into it. I just don't think I'm the right target audience.
And then the very last thing on here that they talk about for Disney Entertainment Television, obviously this wasn't in order, but Kingdom Hearts working title, an original anime series inspired by the globally beloved video game franchise, has been greenlit for Disney Channel and Disney Plus, developed in partnership with legendary video game creator Tetsuya Nomura. The series reimagines the iconic adventure with a brand new story that will expand on the universe of Kingdom Hearts while celebrating the characters that have captured the hearts of millions of fans around the world. Mm-hmm. So, it still goes on. We got the National Geographic The Lion, which we kind of already talked about. Premiere August 19th on National Geographic and started streaming today on Disney Plus and Hulu, which was very cool. It looks very cool. And then we got the Jonas Brothers on stage to talk about Camp Rock 3, which came out.
Forgot about Camp Rock 3.
It's now streaming on Disney Plus. There's still more, which is the other thing that I thought was cool. They did a couple songs from The Greatest Showman, which is a play based on the 2017 film of the same name. And it's going to start over in London at the end of spring in 2027. Kind of bummed it's not here yet, but when it does come here, it's one of the plays that I will like to go see.
I mean, I love
the movie
plays and some musicals before. And I don't know if it was just like maybe the audio within the Honda Center, but I felt like the performances we saw this year compared to like the teaser performance we got 2 years ago, I just didn't feel like it sounded all that good. Like the guy that's playing P.T. Barnum, know, I assume, because they had the little clips running in the background while they were singing. He's like the main guy, right? And I just felt like I had a hard time understanding what he was saying. Like it didn't seem like he was enunciating his words enough.
I know 2 years ago when they got the intro and just the whole show seemed like the audio was better 2 years ago, as far as being able to hear things and clearly, and So that was kind of
sounds better, and between the vocal performance and the audio experience is better when you're actually there watching it in a proper theater.
And we did have plans to dip out a little early. The Frozen 3 thing was the last thing I kind of wanted to hear the end of that. And as soon as they said, okay, good night, we were already heading down along with everybody else. But we did make it out of the Honda Center.
We did too.
Very quickly. We walked out, got our pack of Oswald cards, and then hit the bus. We had to be on one of the first buses to leave.
I think we were. I don't think a bus had pulled out yet.
Because as we're pulling out, we pulled to the north side of the Honda Center, and their line was outrageous.
Yeah, because the way they had the bus situation this year, when we left, we did a full circle around the Honda Center, and my goodness, that there were people. It was like a standstill. It looked like I-5 freeway traffic during rush hour. Just people everywhere not moving.
And I heard Facebook and people talking. They were in those lines for an hour or two waiting to get on a bus. So
I'm so glad I think
12,000 people trying to get back. Now, granted, they don't all take the shuttle from the convention center. Some drove and parked their own selves and et cetera. But so that was kind of Friday. Let's get into Saturday, unless you guys got anything more to say about Friday.
I don't think so.
I will mention briefly one of the things I did while I was away from you guys on Friday is I bought these pins at Loungefly.
Those are cool.
Yeah, if you're watching our YouTube video, you can see them on the screen right now. It's Woody and Buzz from the Cars movie during the end credit scenes where they were showing different Pixar movies on a drive-in theater within the Cars world. And so that's Car Woody and Car Buzz. And this year at the Loungefly booth, they actually had a backpack for the Woody car and like a card holder wallet type thing for the Buzz car. And I thought, especially the Woody, I thought he was really cool looking, the backpack, but it's like, I can't get away with wearing one of those backpacks, right? So, but it's like, wow, what I can do is I can get the pins.
Nice.
So I bought the pins.
Yeah.
That was the only thing I bought on Friday. I was like, man, I'm going to get out of this expo scotch free without spending any kind of money. But that was until Saturday. So
yeah, I didn't buy anything Friday anyways. So we departed. I think James went over to Disneyland that night with Tyler. No. You guys went to Downtown Disney, right?
We went to Downtown Disney, went and ate at Paseo. That's the first time I've eaten there.
Yeah, which we could talk about in our other recap. But we moved on to Saturday, which Saturday is so Friday we wore our Talking Disney podcast brand new shirts. Saturday we had the plan to dress as another Disney or
influencer, creator,
influencer, podcaster, vlogger. James's costume was very hard to do, so he just kind of.
We should have found a different.
It was an epic failure.
Yeah. So he was going to dress like Dusty Sage. Now Dusty Sage is very
charismatic.
Noticeable. I mean, he's very unique in his look, but he doesn't have a unique look, if that makes sense. He doesn't have a signature
outfit.
Like when you see this person, that's Dusty. Dusty, you can tell Dusty just they share the same beard. Sometimes when Cody does AI pictures of us, James looks just like Dusty. Then me and Cody decided Cody was going to go as Fresh Baked. Cody bought the hat and a Fresh Baked merch for his shirt because he often wears his shirt. And I went as Chris Provost. He's got probably the most distinguishable look out of the three of them. Absolutely. Whenever you see him on a video, he's wearing a white collared shirt, short sleeve with a tie, often either red or blue. I went with the red Mickey tie. The picture I saw of him had ankle length Mickey Mouse socks on. So I wore those with some Hokas and kind of smaller shorts than I normally wear.
Jason says that. Jason makes it sound like Chris, and then therefore Jason trying to dress up as Chris was wearing like Daisy Dukes or something. That
No,
was
they weren't
not
that
what
short,
was
but
happening.
if you see my pictures, I'm normally wearing cargo shorts that go just below the knee. These went above the knee, so my knees were hanging out.
They were like, they were just above your knee.
But
they
anyway,
were like resting on your kneecap.
So our goal was we dressed like them for the day just to walk around, hoping that we would run into them during the day.
Yeah.
I will tell the story about how we found Chris very, very quickly. Cody was on one end of the convention center. Calvin and I were on the other end.
Yeah, because I went to go check on the Spirit jersey booth situation.
Yep.
Which is in like the northeast corner or like the back left corner, depending on how you're looking at things, or back right corner, however you're looking at it. Anyways, northwest corner. And Jason was at Disney Publishing in like the southeast corner.
Cody was in the A hall. I was in D.
Yeah, we were on
opposite corners.
Opposite corners of this, I don't know, 3/4 mile long building.
Right. So I just get in line, and it's a decent line. I'm like, cool, I get to look at books. I get a call from Cody and said, hey, I just saw Chris. We're walking this way.
I said, don't hang up. I'm following him. I will guide you to him. Stay on the phone.
So hopefully Chris hears this. He doesn't think we're stalking him, but we kind of were. But
well, I mean, he would like stop, like he would see somebody dressed up and he'd be like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. And he'd do like a little record them. And so like if Chris would stop walking, I would stop walking.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, he's over here. He's talking to this person. Now he's recording. Okay, he's walking again.
So as I'm walking, I'm giving updates of where I'm at. Okay, I just passed D23 Marketplace. Okay, I'm coming up on Pandora.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, just if you keep walking straight, you're going to run right into us.
I'm like, so he's in the middle of the aisle.
Yeah. I just kept walking straight. And I should have had my phone out recording, but I was like, I didn't want to get distracted and lose, I was talking to Cody at the same time. I didn't want to put him on speaker. So we ran into him. And I don't know, 50, 60 feet out, I can see him because he's taller than I thought. And I see his head and his white shirt, and he's wearing a blue tie. And then I see him kind of poke to the side. And then suddenly when the crowd clears, he like points at me. And so we went up, we talked for a few minutes, and Cody got it on video. If he shares his travel video later, you can check it out. But it was kind of cool to meet him. Probably Cody mentioned something about somebody else being the nicest guy. Oh, you said when you ran into those guys
Carlin
in the
brothers.
Pixar thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say, well, I think I ran into the nicest guy because he's just, I've never heard him say anything bad about anybody. He's awesome. Always upbeat and positive. And we talked for a few minutes. We took some pictures. Cody got some video, which was cool. Glad I got to meet him for the first time. And then after we parted ways, and I'm thinking, I'm stupid. I was like, I should have got him to record a message for Marcia, because Marcia's actually the one who started watching them before I did.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, man, hopefully I see him again. And we happened to see him later in the day. And I went up and took a picture for him with 4 other people so they could all get in their shot. And then I was like, hey, Chris, can I bug you one more time? The wife couldn't come. She's down in Denver at the Savannah Bananas game. Can you just shoot her a quick message? He was like, oh yeah, of course. Start the video up. So started the video up. He sent like a 20-second message to her, talking about how hope she's having fun there. We got to see a bunch of famous people today, and that hopefully she's jealous, et cetera, et cetera. I sent it to her, and I guess Kaylee said she was excited to get it. So so I was like, yeah, because after I left on the first time, I was like, I'm so stupid. Why didn't
you were a little starstruck?
Yeah, I was excited to finally find him because we had kind of been looking for him all morning. So yeah, it was fun. I got to talk to him. So yeah, very, very, very cool. And then I don't know if you want to tell your story about meeting or finding Fresh Baked.
Well, we went up to a panel, right? What panel was that? Oh, it was the Disney Legends in Conversation.
Yes. Alan Tudyk,
Eric Goldberg,
Kim Irvine, and
Susan Egan,
hosted by or moderated by Robert Roberts, which she's already a Disney legend. So
yes,
and those 4 were becoming
Disney
legends. So
yes, which was a really good panel. I'm glad we went to that. It was just kind of great to get, their individual stories and experiences and,
insights, behind the scenes stuff that didn't make it into movies that Alan Tudyk was in because they didn't do well in testing. Something about race riots. So
yeah. So it was cool. I really enjoyed that. We were kind of close to the front, so it felt a little intimate because we were close enough to where I felt like I didn't have to look at the big screen to see them,
Mm-hmm.
which was cool. So anyways, we get done with that and we go back downstairs to the lobby. And I think at this point is when James kind of departs. James and Teresa depart. They're going to go back to the hotel and then eventually make their way over to the park to meet up with Tyler and Hannah, who didn't come to the convention with us that day. They were in the park all day. And so at that point, Jason and I are kind of discussing, what are we wanting to do? Where do we want to go from here? I think we were all kind of like, well, you kind of want to stick it out till people start leaving to go to the Honda Center so we can get into some of these stores.
Now, originally we were going to go to the Honda Center, but we had decided we were going to just stay at the convention center that day, skip the parks panel because we had heard there wasn't a lot of big brand new announcements and it was being streamed anyways. So,
right. And so we're like, well, I guess we'll go in and we'll just go in and look at stuff and wait for the line to die down. And as we're in the lobby, I was like, oh, hey, there's some YouTubers. And hey, there's some YouTubers, and someone came up to us, but more specifically you, because he recognized right away that you were dressed as Chris.
Yeah, there was a guy. He was like, "Hey, I saw you two down there, and I recognized you as Chris." But then I looked closer. I was like, "No, it's not Chris, but that's somebody dressed like Chris." Oh, and he's dressed like Fresh Baked.
Yes.
So
we chatted with him for a few minutes.
Yeah.
And then that conversation ended, and Jason and I and Calvin kind of make our way.
Calvin was gone.
Calvin wasn't even there.
Yeah, he had run we got the D23 free giveaway picture, and he had run it back to the room for us.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
And so Jason and I are heading to go back into the convention hall and just walk around. And then from behind me somewhere, I hear Fresh Baked, and I whip around, and I didn't think anyone was, from behind, like you can't see the Fresh Baked shirt I'm wearing. So it's like nobody's mistaking me for David, right? But that's the calling card. It's like I know he's in the vicinity, right? And so I turn around and I don't know, maybe 50, 60 feet behind me is David. And he was talking with somebody else or taking a picture with somebody briefly or something. And then he's coming right at us. He's about to go through the doors that we were about to go through. And then so I kind of approach him as he's kind of approaching us, and I say, "Yeah, I'm sorry to bother you, but can I take a picture with you?" And he kind of looks up at me because he was looking down at his phone or his camera or something, and he looks up and he recognizes the shirt. It's his design, his Fresh Baked shirt, and he can see I'm wearing the hat and everything, and he's like, "Oh, I can see what you've done here." It's like, "Yeah, absolutely, let's get a picture." So he was nice enough to to take a picture with me, and Jason got a picture with him as well, and so that was really cool. We didn't really talk to him too much. I did let him know that I've been following him, his YouTube channel, watching his videos since like 2013, 2014. So he seemed appreciative and kind of was like, "Oh wow, that's a long time."
Yeah, at some point, I don't remember if it was before we started taking pictures or after you took your picture and I jumped in. He did say, "Oh, Chris Provost." So yeah. But that was cool. We got to see him, and then we were actually a few times recognized as who we were dressed like not mistaken for them, but we were checking out the Pirates Lego big display, which is very cool. That's on Cody's video too, I think. Or no, James posted one.
James posted one on TikTok, and I've got a little bit of stuff in it on mine, but I think James's TikTok showcases it better.
Right. Yeah. So we were walking over by that, and a couple and their kid, they were like, "Oh, Chris Provost, Fresh Baked," and they talked about how they had seen him earlier in the day and this and that. And then they said, "Can we get a picture with you guys?" So I was like, that's cool. So we took a picture with them. And then we were in line for the Pixar Mundo display thing.
Yeah.
And somebody recognized us.
And took our picture.
Yeah. Yeah. So, that's very cool. So, it was fun. It was fun that day. So
we waited after, meeting Fresh Baked. Kind of the next thing we did with Calvin, we met up with Calvin not long after that. I think we were still in the lobby when Calvin caught up with us.
Yeah.
And then kind of directly inside of those doors was the Pixar Mundo thing. And it's like, well, again, and I almost felt like, and it's on my video, which I'll talk about a little bit later, but it just seems like everything I tried to do that morning, the line was capped. Like I checked on the Spirit Jersey thing like 3 or 4 different times throughout the day. I checked on Disney Publishing twice before I ended up going over there with you guys. And by the time I went over there with you, the books that I was hoping to get had been sold out. The Joe Rohde book and the Bob Weiss book.
A lot of the lines, they were capped. Like they're, and I think eventually they started like having a standby queue area. But when I went over to Disney Publishing twice, she was like, "This is the end of the queue. Check back in about 10 minutes, and maybe you can get in line." Well, I was like, "Can I wait over there?" No, we had to keep that clear because of the fire code or something.
Finally, like, I don't know if you've counted how many people are in here, but the fire code went out the door at 9 a.m. this morning.
Finally, they had it where they were lined up a little toward the front, and they had cast members that would come and then move you into publishing. But a lot of places were doing that. The Spirit Jersey place, when we went to the Walt Disney Company store later, they were kind of doing that by the stage where they would cap it off and then tell you to come back. So go ahead. Sorry.
But it's hard to time it. You come back and you find the line in the exact same situation it was in the last time you came. Right. So that morning was frustrating because it just felt like, man, if you didn't, and some of those, like the Disney Publishing, Spirit Jersey, there were no virtual queues for those, right? So it's just like, man, if you weren't like the first 100 people in the door, it just kind of felt like you were screwed, that you just had to, like, if you really wanted some of these things that these different places were selling, it's like you had to just hover, but you had to hover in the right place, because you couldn't hover in a natural place, and then it just feels like you're in the way. So it's like, well, I don't want to just stand here all day and wait for this queue that they're only putting 20 people in, like at Disney Publishing, before they extended it later in the day. The original line was only like 20 to 30 people best deep before they would cut it off.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I'm not just going to stand here all day, and so I didn't get the book, and I couldn't get it signed by Joe Rohde, but in 2 weeks, his book's going to be on Amazon, and that's good enough, I suppose. So, so anyways, it just felt like all day it was just lines. It almost felt worse than Friday, in my opinion, as far as the how busy the place was and how many lines were full to do anything. So it was like, well, we want to do the shopping, especially the D23. I'm sorry, the Walt Disney Company store, which on Saturday did not operate a virtual queue at 6 a.m. like they did on Friday. It was standby only. So it's like, okay, you're going to have to wait in the line at some point. And all day long, it was wrapped around the booth and 4 or 5 switchbacks behind it, and then jumped the aisle to the
next
spotlight
to the stage. Yeah.
And so it was like every time I checked on that throughout the day before the 3 of us got in line, again, it was always back there by the stage, and it was always capped. And it was just like, I don't know what to do anymore at this point. Everywhere I go, and the places I'm trying to do are on opposite ends of the freaking convention center.
So at some point we just said, screw it, let's get in line.
Yeah. Well, so we stood in line for the Pixar Mundo thing, because, it was an hour. Yeah. And I was like, okay, well, we're waiting to do these other lines to try to see if maybe they'll clear out when people start going to the Haunted Center. So this will kill an hour of our time. Let's just do it. Tyler said that it was worth doing. We'll stand in line and do it, right?
And so we did that. Hour and 15 in the Walt Disney Company store line.
After that, we made our way over to the Walt Disney Company store, and the line was capped, but people were getting in line behind the cap, and we just said, well, I guess we'll just, follow the crowd, right? We got in line, and the person capping the line wasn't like, no, you have to come back. So it's like, this is our opportunity.
Yeah, that person got relieved soon after, and a person came in that was actually enforcing the rules.
Yeah, so I guess we got lucky.
Yeah.
And the whole time we were at least in the back part of the line before we went around the side, it continued to be that long.
Yep.
So, and we ended up waiting about an hour and 15 minutes for that. I was able to get in, and I got the things that I wanted, so I was happy about that. It seemed like anything that I would have been interested in had plenty of stock. I got this Roosevelt's. This is like the official Roosevelt's. You can see it says like D23 right here. This is the official part of the official D23 collection. This was a Roosevelt shirt. I got the ears that match this. I got another Roosevelt shirt. It's green and it's from the Walt Disney Office collection. It says Walt's office on it. It has 3H on it, which was the number of his office. And it has his initials on it. So it says WED. It's a nice like forest green color. It's a really nice looking shirt. And I got some ears that match that are made out of like leather, which are really cool. And I feel like I got something else while I was in there, but I am blanking on it at the moment. But I got a few things in there and I felt content with that. And so did you guys buy anything while you were in there, Jason?
I bought some postcards that were like the posters of previous D23 events. I thought those were cool. I bought a sweater that said like Ultimate Disney Fan or something like that.
Oh, that's right.
And then a Walt Disney Pictures shirt with just the logo on it. So
yes. Yeah, those were some cool shirts.
Yeah. I was I was looking at that Walt partner statue. It was $150, but the guy was like, yeah, he was like, it's very protected in the thing, but it was kind of fragile. I looked up on the Walt Disney Company store. They've got a bronze one on there that I like better anyways. That's for $99. So I'm just going to order that one and save $51. So,
yeah. So when we got out of that, I think we all felt pretty, we got out of that and we watched this, probably for close to 30 minutes, 20 minutes at least. There was at that stage that the line had kind of encroached into. It was just kind of an open stage. They were doing different events there throughout the days. And when we walked by, Brett Irwin, the woman who voices Minnie Mouse, which I can't seem to remember her name.
Yeah, I can't remember her name.
Caitlin something. And Bill Farmer, the voice of Goofy. So you had the voice of Mickey, the voice of Minnie, and the voice of Goofy all on stage together. And they were doing trivia and other little contests. Sing your tune in your character's voice. They did a little drawing, draw this
I think
character.
they had to answer all the questions in the voice of their character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we sat and watched that for at least 20 minutes or so. And that was fun. There wasn't a ton of people there watching it. There were no like seats or anything. It was just carpet and people just plopped down and watched.
I think did you put some of that on your video?
Yes, some of that's in my video. So
and that's where I ran into Chris the second time. Cody was like, hey, there's Chris recording. So
yeah, when it got done and we were kind of standing up, I saw Chris over on the other side from where we were sitting. And I was like, oh, hey, there's Chris again. And that's when Jason took the opportunity.
I was like, oh, I'll be back.
At that point, we're not too far away from where Spirit Jersey and stuff. We kind of went around the concession and bathroom area around the backside and kind of came back in on that backside in Hall A there. And I said, I feel pretty content, but I want to just check the Spirit Jersey booth one more time before we leave for the day. If it's short, I'll get in line. If it's long, then I'll just, I'll cut my losses. There's nothing I can't live without. But if the line is short, I'd like to at least go and look. And we're not that far away from it. And so Jason's like, yeah, okay, let's go over. And, we checked the back corner first where they had been queuing up people. There's nobody in the back corner. And I went over to the booth and there was maybe, like one entire switchback. So like a back and a forth in line. And that was it. And
it didn't take us maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes, maybe.
Probably
if
10 at max, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably about 10. 10. And so I was like, man, so I think at that point, by the time we did the Walt Disney Company store and then we watched the little thing with Brett, Caitlin, and Bill, I think people were kind of starting to leave. The Honda Center people were getting out of there and people were just, kind of vacating for the day. So we got in line for the Spirit Jersey. And so I got a Cozy Cone Spirit Jersey and I got a Princess and the Frog Spirit Jersey for Lucy.
And that's where Calvin bought his only merchandise. He was looking at that Darth Vader one, but they were out of larges.
Oh.
Medium was too small. So he ended up getting a Fantasia Spirit Jersey, large. So it was cool. Yeah, I passed up. I didn't get anything. So,
and then after that, we called it a day. That was the end.
we took off for the hotel. Then we went and met James over in downtown Disney for some dinner.
Yep.
Which we'll talk about next episode. So yeah, we didn't end up going to Sunday's event or Sunday's day.
No, I was supposed to be on a plane at 7 a.m.
Yeah,
Our flight got delayed.
Yeah, Cody, Tyler, Hannah flew out that day. Calvin and I took off for Vegas and then eventually Utah and then back home we got back home Tuesday and James took off a little bit after us.
You got back home Monday.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. We left Sunday, got home Monday. Uneventful drive back. Some of the things I did want to mention, I mentioned I wanted to talk about Jim Cummings a little earlier being salty. I don't think there was anybody that was inducted as a Disney legend this year that should have been in over Jim Cummings. I think he probably should have been in over everybody that was inducted this year. Bob Iger, Hathaway, The Rock.
Bob Iger is the only one that you could maybe say maybe on. But Bob Iger could have waited another 5 years too.
It's my opinion that Michael Eisner should be in before Bob Iger.
That's also fair. So
yep.
But yeah, I don't think there was anybody on that stage with the 40 plus years of
Kim Irvine. She's been around a while.
Yeah. Okay. I would have been good if they would have inducted two legends. Kim Irvine and Jim Cummings this year. Alan Tudyk he's great. I love him and everything he does.
Yeah,
but he's the new Jim Cummings.
We talked about this when the list came out. That he's the new Jim Cummings.
He's Jim Cummings in the 2000s.
He's got a great resume, but it's not nearly as stacked as Jim's.
Yeah.
But apparently Jim had some allegations or something come out about him once upon a time. So
okay. Yeah. He needs to be a legend in 2028.
And apparently he was at D23. He posted a video today of him walking outside the convention center, but clearly
I saw a video of him standing next to the Lorcana area because they had a Winnie the Pooh mural thing, and he was doing it and he was doing his voice. So, yeah, Jim Cummings, and he posted something on social media today that, definitely was.
In his thing today, I don't know. Like, I can understand why he's upset and it might be bitter, but I also feel like him doing what he's doing is not helping the odds.
Yeah.
So at this point, I don't know if he'll ever become a Disney.
But is it him really running that page or running? Yeah,
I don't know.
Or is somebody posting
his
for
official
him?
page?
Yeah.
I doubt it's getting posted completely without his knowledge.
Right.
But the video was him like walking through just kind of alone outside at dark of the convention center, and it's "Hello, darkness, my old friend," and it was just and he just says like 40 plus years. 1,500 characters or whatever it is. It seems like a large number, but I imagine it's accurate. And he says something else, and he just says like no comment, Jim Cummings, or something like that. It almost seemed like a stab at Alan Tudyk, because what they said, like Alan's done like 30 or 40 something characters,
right? Yeah, and even Alan would have been fine, but I mean. The Rock now.
I mean, come on, you've seen Tooth Fairy, right?
Yeah.
Game Plan,
Jungle Cruise. Yeah. So it's just I would be a little salty too. I mentioned Michael Eisner, but I don't know if he's been asked and declined. I've heard that rumor that at one point he was asked about it, because I think they're asked, do you want to become a Disney legend? Because if you don't want to become one, they're not going to force you to do it.
Well, and I also think like if you decline it, they're not going to be like, well, we'll ask you again in 5 years.
Yeah.
But a lot of people, there was a lot of people didn't like Michael Eisner. He was great at the beginning, and then people started to not like him toward the end, and now, but come on, he deserves to be a Disney legend.
Absolutely, I agree.
So.
Disney Home Video, Disney Channel.
Yeah. But yeah, he was a little salty. So in like 60 seconds or shortly therefore, what was your overall experience for D23 in 2026 kind of a quick.
In how long? 30 seconds? Yeah, 60 seconds?
60 seconds. Just a quick good, bad, and the ugly kind of.
So I think I mentioned this Friday morning.
Do you want to frame it that way?
Which way?
Oh, I was just gonna say if you wanted to tie that into James's question, or I think it was James that proposed the question, but
yeah,
what our experience was, and do we feel like it is worth it, or would we return?
Yeah.
So I think my experience, I think Friday morning, like I start off in a bad mood because, as we were talking, you guys are a little bit ahead of us. We're a little bit further behind. That big old long line, the collapse of the organization of it. And I think I mentioned this to you guys that Friday morning is the morning that I question whether or not I'll ever come to D23 again. Mm-hmm. But I always know that by the end of the day, Friday, and by the end of the day, Saturday, that there's going to be enough stuff that I'll want to return. I think D23 is a very unique animal, if you will. It's very different. It's not like going to Disneyland. It's not like going to a theme park. It's very unique. I think it's got a lot of unique aspects about it. And I think you have to go into that realizing kind of what you're getting yourself into.
Yeah.
And if you like certain aspects of it, then you're going to enjoy yourself. And you have to also understand that it's always going to be different. I've gone 3 times now, and each time has been a very different experience. But one thing I was noticing this past week as we went is, the panels are a little problematic as far as getting into, but they seem to have lots of standby room to get into them. And I really think that my favorite part of D23 is getting into these different panels and listening to the animators and the actors and actresses and the Disney legends speak about their experiences. So because of that, I will definitely go back again. And I think I will focus more on the panel experiences myself. I think for the shopping, for me, not as good. I'm just not into that as much. I purposefully on Friday when I went to bed Thursday, I purposefully didn't even set an alarm. I don't know what I told you guys. I think I slept right through it or something. Like I purposefully didn't even set an alarm because it's like, I really don't care to try to get into a virtual queue and base my whole day on getting into a shop. I was grateful to go into the D23 marketplace when Cody invited me to go. I loved walking around in there. It's just not what I'm there for.
Right.
So anyways, I think that was way longer than 60 seconds.
That's
I apologize. Right. I figured
What you got,
2 hours and 40 minutes.
60 seconds, man.
I can take a little extra time.
No, that's
It's
okay.
not even Pixar.
Jason and I talked through a whole day on Saturday, and you just sat there. So
Yeah.
I was enjoying listening.
All right. What you got, Cody?
And you know what? I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead. No.
Let me just throw in a thought there.
just keep on going.
Well, I'm trying to give you a plug here, Cody. Because as you said that, because you said, you and Jason have been talking and I'm just sitting there. I am listening and enjoying it. And it just made me think of the video that you uploaded today on your YouTube channel that I really enjoyed watching because it really, like Jason made a comment somewhere like, oh, it feels like I was there. Oh yeah, I was there or whatever. But it was a really cool video. Like even as I'm listening to you guys talk about Saturday, it's kind of cool just to kind of hear your experiences. And I just really enjoyed that video today. And I just want to express that for anyone that might not have seen it yet on YouTube. Go check it out. So
well, thank you.
Sorry to interrupt you, Cody. Back to you.
Cody will share where to find it here in a minute. Yeah, and I'll throw it in the show notes.
So yeah, I said this on a Disneyland trip report that I did last year. With D23, you got to pack your patient pants, right?
I remember that. Yeah.
It's tough because I don't even own a pair of patient pants.
James was pantsless.
Yeah. When it comes to patient pants, I'm going without pants. Believe me. Sorry.
No, it's just like I can like when you want some of these things, they're weeks leading up to D23, they're doing these drops, these releases online about what you can buy, what's going to be at one store, and they make you want some of these things. And and I didn't want everything, but it's like I would have liked to have gotten Joe Rohde's book and had it signed by him. And that was one of the things I put in for the reservation thing. I put in for that on Friday and Saturday, and I didn't get it. And it seemed like without the virtual queue, you were not getting your book signed. Even if you bought the book there, it was like, if you don't have the virtual queue, it's like, that's what the virtual queue was for, was to get it signed. And it was just like, it's a bummer that you couldn't even buy the book and still get it signed. They're like, oh, we might open it up for standby, but we have to get all the virtual queue people in first. It's like, okay, well, that's not going to happen anytime soon. So, and then by the time I was able to get in line for publishing and into the booth, the book was gone. And so I can understand why things like that for myself and for a lot of people, there's, of course, all I've been seeing this whole week is people complaining about this, that, and the other online for D23. And a lot of it has to do with the shopping, the virtual queues, and the lines. And I get it. But I also know that for better or for worse, I guess not for better, but that is a part of the experience, unfortunately. And I don't know, I'm not smart enough to know a better way to fix that problem. And there are so many people at this event, thousands upon thousands, tens upon tens of thousands.
I've seen a rough estimate for the 3-day weekend. They were expecting 120 to 130,000 people.
Yeah.
Wow.
It felt like it.
Yeah.
It was just people everywhere. Line, you couldn't even, get a hot dog with your own creation of barbecue ketchup without standing in a line, and and that's just part of it. But it does feel like this year in particularly, the lines felt worse than they had the last 2 times I've been to D23.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know if it's just recency bias or what, but I don't feel like it was that bad 2 years ago, and I don't feel like it was that bad 2 years before that. But
so are you going back?
Yeah, and I think I need to buy the dang 3-day pass.
Yeah, actually,
because it felt like there were, and of course it's it's the FOMO. It happens because you're not there, but it felt like there were a lot of interesting things happening on Sunday that I wish,
right,
I could have, different.
Which when we bought the tickets for 2 days, we did not know what was we didn't know the schedule of panels. We didn't know.
And I wish that they would release that before, sooner. So what days you want to, because maybe there isn't really anything I care to see or do as far as the panels are concerned on Saturday. So maybe I'll just buy the Friday and the Sunday. Right. And of course, the people that, the resellers, the people who are there for the exclusive merch, they're going to go all 3 days, or they're going to make sure that they're there on Friday. But for people that are more panel oriented, it'd be nice to know, because it's an expense. And if you don't live locally and you have to travel and you have to get a hotel room, it's an expense. It'd be nice to know what days you maybe want to go if you don't are already just committed to going all 3 days. So, but as far as the shopping and the virtual queues, it's I don't know a way to make that any better. Other than giving every attendee a time slot with your badge. Your badge comes with a time slot for the main stores that are doing virtual queues, or you opt in. I want it ahead of time, with the panel selection, opt into what stores you want a virtual queue for. And again, you can't get one for everything. You have to do standby for the others, but you can pick up to 3 and you get or you get 1 a day or something. I don't know, but something to that effect maybe would make things a little bit better. But so again, it's part of the experience. It's unfortunate. It didn't ruin my experience. I'm content with the things that I got. I can get Joe Rohde's book online. It just won't be signed. It's not going to kill me at the end of the day. And yeah, absolutely. I'll want to go back in 2 years.
Yeah. So here's my thoughts. I kind of agreed with James on that first Friday, just because you have to realize, well, first of all, if you're going to D23, no matter how many days you're going, you're not going to be able to do everything.
No.
Yeah.
I've heard millions of people say that you can't do everything. You have to pick and choose. It would be nicer if we, like Cody said, if we could know what panels there were when we do buy tickets. It was hey, there's stupid panels on Saturday, cool panels on Friday and Sunday, I think I'll skip Saturday and just go those two. So
And go to
next
the
time
park, because apparently the park during the day is easy breezy, beautiful cover girl.
Yeah.
Because everybody's at the convention.
Yeah. So you have to go into it realizing that Friday morning, which we've learned, Friday morning is probably going to be a little stressful because things are going to be changed. They're going to be changed from the last time you went. Things are going to be different. Next year, we may be lining up, who knows, on the sidewalk next to DCA right by the credit coaster. So who knows where we're going to be.
They're going to have us line up in the Toy Story parking lot.
Yeah. And then 15 people at a time will get to go over. But once you get into it, I think if I do, or when I do go again, like James, shopping is out. I'm not even going to worry about shopping. And to fix that for me, I think when you, like 2 years ago or 4 years ago, when I buy the tickets, give me a chance to buy some merch right there. Let me get a D23 shirt. Let me buy a pen, and I'm content with shopping. I don't need the 1 in 500 statue, or I'm not going there as a reseller. I don't need to I don't need to run through the doors to get the special limited edition merch. I'm there for more the experience now. I would love, I'm going to have a camera by then. I would love to walk around and just record things. Go see the different areas. People watch. There was tons of people in cosplay. I saw somebody doing Dumbo. It was crazy. We saw Woody and Buzz in a
Dumbo the elephant, or Dumbo the ride?
The ride.
Okay.
She had a circle thing on.
Tyler and I saw her the first time, 4 years ago.
And it was going around in a circle, and the Dumbos were going up and down.
Yep.
I was like, that is cool. We always see the Haunted Mansion people,
I'm glad you mentioned that, because that is one of my favorite parts of D23 is seeing all the different people that go so far out with their outfits. I love that.
For me to make it.
And you could go to the cosplay meetups.
Yeah.
Right.
And you can see all of them.
I think I did that for every one 2 years ago, and I didn't go out for a single one this year. I was a little bummed.
So next 2028, shopping's out. I'm walking around. I'm people watching. I'm going to have the list of panels. I'm going to try to go to more panels. Unfortunately, some panels conflict. One starts at 2:15. One starts at 3. You can't do both, even if you're in standby. So you have to choose
a little bit.
And just walk around and experience it. And, so the first day I was saying, I don't think I'm coming back in 2028. But I think with D23 being every 2 years, especially the big one in Anaheim, they have D23 destination in Florida in the off years, which is a lot smaller.
Or Singapore next year.
I'm not going to Singapore. No. But I think they get you with this.
Jump on the Disney Adventure that ports out of Singapore.
Screw Singapore. I'm not going.
James and I are going to Singapore.
Okay, go ahead.
I'll go.
But I think what they do is you kind of forget all the hassle you went through 2 years ago when D23 comes around to get an Anaheim. You're like, let's go. Forgetting all the other stuff. So I do plan on going back. We'll try to do it totally different. I liked, I'll take something that I saw that Chris Provost said in his videos leading up to it. A couple years ago, he was trying to get to the panels that he thought people would want to see, the things that people would want to see so he could record them. This time he says, I'm going to do what I want to see, and I'll share my experience with them. Yeah. I'm going to go and do the things that I want to do. I don't want to shop. The shopping is broken to me. And like Cody said, I don't know how to fix it. Yeah. But there's just too many people waiting an hour and 15 minutes to get in a store. It's crazy. And if you want to go for the purpose of shopping, then you got to realize that you're going to wait.
And I think the key is like, okay, they don't want anyone queuing up overnight, like, right? Yeah. And they're going to open it at 6 a.m. If that's your goal, then I guess you're going to show up at 6 a.m. so you can be the people in the first line in the basement, and you can get in there first. Because honestly, I think that's the only way to do it and get what you want.
Right. Unless I have a panel that I have a reservation for, I don't even think I need to be there when it opens at 9.
Yeah.
Let me mosey in after they clear the basement.
If you showed up at 9:30, you just kind of walk right in. So yeah. So we'll see. I also think they probably need to limit things more. I think that was part of the problem, that I don't know how much of this stuff was being limited, like 2 per person. Enough of the 2 per person crap. It is 1 per person.
Right.
Yeah. And to cut back
2 per person means you can sell one of those.
Exactly. So
It'd be nice too for some of the shopping stuff, like the Spirit jerseys. I mean, if they have like either a wristband or a slip of paper, one per jersey, and just go through the line and say, okay, come back later. You've got your slip. You can get a double XL Kingdom Hearts. As long as you have the slip of paper, we've still got it in stock. And once they run out of pieces of paper,
which one do you want? Which one do you want?
Yeah.
Okay, here's your wristband or tap to pay.
pass them
We'll
out.
have
Say,
it ready for you to pick up in 2 hours.
Yeah, exactly. Pass it out and say, come back when there's a shorter line. And as long as you got that piece of paper, we won't sell it. Like you'll have one there.
Yeah.
And then, you can do away with the lines and people can
things
get
will be
stuff,
completely different in 2028. So
nobody listens to me.
So yeah. So this is a long episode. So I don't know if I'm gonna break it down into two, but if you're listening at this point, you made it through.
Let's keep going. Let's review Turning Red right now.
I think we're done. We're done.
I haven't watched it yet.
We're done. So before we say our last words, let me share this, which I don't have to share very much now because
I did want to share something before you get into that. We've talked about it a couple of times throughout the episode, but I did put together a YouTube video. It is on my own channel. I started a new channel on YouTube.
Cody's going solo, leaving Jason and James behind.
No. I mentioned the podcast, and the podcast is linked in the show notes. But yeah, it was something that I debated as like, do I put this on my own thing? Do I put it on the podcast channel? And it's like, well, because I'd like to do some videos in the future. Like, I'm going on a cruise, a non-Disney cruise in November. I'd like to vlog and do that. And it's like, well, that isn't really going to fit on the podcast channel. Like I could put it up there and it would be probably no big deal, but it's like, it just felt like I should have like my own place to do my own thing. And then absolutely any of the Disney related content. It's like, hey, it's Cody from the Talking Disney podcast, link down below. So anyways, I broke in my camera and, I'm still figuring out the vlogging thing. When it comes to what to capture, the B-roll, just kind of some of those filler shots of just like establishing where I'm at, what I'm looking at, and then just,
talking to yourself,
the commentary, right? Because it's like I have, I know what I'm looking at in my head, but somebody watching is like, they probably need a little bit of context, right? And so just things like that, recapping at the end of the day. Like I didn't film very much at all on Friday. It was some stuff first thing in the morning. And then, then it like, okay, it's Saturday morning. And it was like, okay, there was a lot of stuff in between there, but I didn't talk about it in the vlog. I should have done like a back at the hotel room after the entertainment panel and just gave some initial thoughts. Here's what we saw. This is what I thought was cool. Not necessarily breaking down the whole thing, but just, a couple of things like that. So anyways, it's about an hour long. It's from me leaving Salt Lake City till the end of my experience at D23. It's one video for like the 2.5 days of being down in California. And, it's not, like some of these other, Disney YouTubers and travel vloggers that anybody may watch or listen to. It's, it's my first one ever. So, I learned a lot by doing it. So hopefully the next one I do will be better, at least by a little bit. And the one after that will be a little bit better. And so I'm learning, but I felt like I learned a lot doing this, especially editing it and being like, oh, I wish I had this in there. I wish I had that in there. So I'll be able to keep things like that in mind for the next time. I am going to Disney World in 2 weeks, doing a Halloween party, going on a Disney cruise. So I'll be able to film and vlog a lot, and I'm excited to do that, and I'm excited to put it up on my channel, which I haven't mentioned. The name of my channel on YouTube is called Cody's Travel Vlog. So youtube.com/@Cody's Travel Vlog. And we'll put it in the show notes here if you want to check it out. I'd love it if you would subscribe and watch my video. I've got one video up there right now. It's the D23 video. Like I said, it is rough. The audio is kind of all over the place. There were some shots I didn't have my camera turned on. There's one spot, like around 6 minutes, where YouTube edited out a song that was playing in the background of Downtown Disney as I was walking through, and my voice sounds a little muddled because it's trying to take the background music out but keep my voice in. So and then I recorded something at home afterwards just to kind of put in there at the end of the video, again, kind of like a recap, and the audio sounds different there. And so it's things like that I'm still kind of working on. So bear with me as I kind of try to get my footing in the vlogging. But if you want to follow along in some of the adventures that I have coming up and support that little hobby that I'm trying to get off the ground, then anybody that takes the time to do that, then I'm really appreciative. So yeah, Cody's travel vlog on YouTube. The channel name is just Cody Jackson. But then the YouTube handle is Cody's travel vlog. So when I on a different account searched Cody Jackson, it popped up. It says Cody Jackson, and then underneath it says at Cody's travel vlog. So it should be fairly easy to find the channel or the video, but we'll have it linked in the show notes as well. So.
All right. Got 6 subscribers so far. Not bad for 11 hours, 46 views on the first video. One comment that I see.
All right. So before we get out of here, Linktree, you can check out all our social media, linktr.ee/Talking Disney podcast. It'll be in the show notes too. We did not get to talk about the parks panel at all, which we will do. We can brief run over that. We can make it a 4-hour episode. Let's go. No, that's last time we had this long of an episode. I had trouble editing because it didn't want to do such a long video.
And because you kept falling asleep.
Yeah, that too, probably. So we'll get to talk. We'll talk about the park stuff. I'm gonna say right now, as much as they probably said in the parks panel about this, we're doing something with Tomorrowland. Good night. And there's still hope.
We could talk about that more on the next one.
Yeah, and there's still hope for Avatar going away, in my opinion. So, and we'll talk. We'll share my thoughts on that.
Yeah, I don't know. That little model in Imagineering looks pretty freaking awesome.
Yeah, but did they say anything at the parks panel about Avatar?
They said it was still happening.
They said it was coming in the future.
They said that it was going to be pushed back to after Tomorrowland, but that it would still happen.
Yeah, it's never coming.
So that question is: are they still going to close Monsters Inc. in the new year?
That's pushed back.
Did they say that, or is that you speculating?
That's me speculating. I don't think they said there is no official close date for Monsters Inc.
Did they said that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I read that somewhere today.
Okay.
I'll have to find it before next episode.
All right. Well, we got lots to talk about next time too.
Yeah. So. Thanks for sticking with us. If you're still made it this far, so let's get out of here. Until next time, we'll talk to you later. Bye.
See ya.
Pack your patient pants.
I don't have any.